welcome to the anticipated season finale of the U.S. Air Force Command Clash. I'm your host, Lisa Malambri, aka Lucy May, and today we're gonna get right to the action. So now, most of you already know we're playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and it's all going down in Warzone. Here, our top airmen will compete for kills and placement to rack up the most points and bragging rights as the very first champions of Command Clash. But before we get started, everyone, please join us for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, now let's recap the season. For the last 5 weeks, we've teamed up with active duty airmen across the country to play Call of Duty and talk about gaming and Air Force life. We visited Nellis Air Force Base, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, and Joint Base Langley Eustis. We've been joined by guests like NFL Pro Clay Matthews, Call of Duty expert Nameless, and comedian Eric Griffin, among many others. And all of the gameplay is commentated, has been, will be today by Jeff Leach. So if you don't know him by now, he's a comedian, actor, and the ghost voice in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This one right here, you're gonna hear him all the time in your ears. So bottom line, these past 5 weeks, we got to kick back and play games and just have a lot of fun together. And that is what gaming's about, am I right? But don't take it from me. Hear what the participating airmen had to say about it all.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Courtney Touche, aka Phoenix_CBR on Twitch TV, and I'm from Lackland Air Force Base.
Hello, I'm Staff Sergeant Stevens, aka the military gamer out of Nellis Air Force Base.
Oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. You scared the crap out of me. Senior Airman Travis Worthen here, aka Tango Whiskey or Travis 440.
Also, excuse the beard. I've been on leave, and I haven't really cleaned up, but shouldn't be a problem.
My favorite part of Command Clash was definitely, playing with people from my base. One of them I worked like 20 feet from, didn't know it.
Along with coming across some of my local and joint base airmen in heated matches, and we had some really good heated matches there, guys. It was fun playing with y'all.
So many airmen I never would have crossed paths with was just phenomenal. Like, I made so many new friends because of this.
I think the best part about Command Clash was meeting all the other airmen from around the country and being able to share this experience and kind of gain a sense of community.
And be able to be a part of something that is not only impactful on the Air Force, but it directly impacted a lot of people's lives and probably brought a lot of joy to people who haven't really been able to do much good because of COVID. So I think that was my favorite part.
After that, you start meeting these celebrities, having a good time with them, laughing. Celebrities are interesting and they're really funny. And then Jeff Leach's commentary was a very nice touch.
Of course, spending time with the amazing talent and hearing all the antics that were coming from Jeff Leach.
Got to throw in meeting Jeff Leach, Eric Griffin, and all the other celebrities was also a pretty huge plus.
I come home, grind out some Call of Duty, and do it with people I enjoy to hang out with.
Being able to come together and step away from stressors in life and just play games is why gaming is so important to me, why it's been important to me for so long. This was an amazing experience. I love Call of Duty. It was very fun, and I'd love to compete again. I think it's important to support gaming and people who game in the Air Force because it's a good distraction and release from the stressors of life and also just being in the service. You experience a lot of stress that other people wouldn't.
Because in the military, what happens? You leave all your close friends and family and you go across the world. But with gaming, you can still connect to them, and it gives you somebody to talk to.
So, gaming is important to me because it's one of those things that people do as a hobby, but in the long run it helps with depression and anxiety, helps people stay connected, just like social media, but you're still doing things with these people, which makes you still feel like you're at home. And those people with depression, they normally handle things a lot better when they have that friend to talk to. That person may have never had a place to feel safe enough to have that conversation. And the gaming does that for them.
So I really appreciate that you guys are taking the time to have this series and show like the differences between the gaming world and the civilian world and the military side, and combining it all into this one big pot of how gaming could be used in all aspects of life, and especially in the military. And I really appreciate it.
Just being a part of it, being able to put in my input and help others to know what they're doing. It's been a great time, a great feeling to see where all this is going to go as well. And I've made new friendships along the way that I probably wouldn't have made if it wasn't for this. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for selecting me. Thank you to the other players. Thank you to the celebrities. This was a fantastic opportunity and it meant the world to me.
Everybody that was a part of this, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and all us other airmen to show what we've got and to show that we definitely do have a place in the Air Force as far as the community, as far as, a competitive sport and, just something that we can make shine.
And I'm very thankful for it. I had a lot of fun, and I appreciated everybody's time.
And then, of course, winning was, I feel like I won. Whether I did or not, I guess we'll see.
I was going to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've never been a part of anything like this. It was amazing, meeting all the new people, being able to be part of something of gaming that the Air Force supports. It's just one big step. It's going to be further in. We're going to progress further.
Good thank you to you guys. I hope to stay in touch, and we really enjoyed this. This was an awesome experience. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys again real soon. Later.
Thank you so much for all the work y'all put in, and hope you do this again next year. Thank you.
Thank you guys for featuring me. I had a great time.
Stay frosty.
Doki out.
And if you missed any of the episodes, you can watch them all over at youtube.com/USAF Esports. You can also catch rebroadcasts on our partner channel, ESTV, everywhere it's available. And lastly, do not miss a single thing by following us on Twitter at AFSVC_esports. All right, moving on. During the season, 5 airmen teamed up with our special guests and fought through rounds of free-for-all and 2v2 gunfights so that they can get a spot in today's matches of Warzone. So now we're gonna see which air base can get the most points to be crowned the winner of this season's Command Clash. And as I said earlier, Jeff Leach will be talking us through each match, accompanied by some of our season's special guests. So we also cannot have a finale without some added hype. So today we're gonna be getting a musical performance by the multi-talented artist, Blake Lewis. He's in the studio and we'll be doing a live remix of the Haunting of Verdansk theme. You guys, that's already a cool theme in itself. Blake is nuts. You do not want to miss it, so definitely be sticking around for that. All right, now that you're all caught up to speed, it's time to find out which installation will be our Season 1 champs of Command Clash. Here's how it'll work. The 3 airmen finalists from each base we visited will team up for 1 game of Warzone per base. Our previous episodes showed us how each airman performs on their own, but how will they fare together? They need to rack up as many points as possible. This will be based on their final placement plus total team kills. So, without further ado, first up is Nellis Air Force Base with Staff Sergeant Darius Omar Stevens, Senior Airman Bryce Borngraber, and Staff Sergeant Craig Burksa. Special guest joining Jeff on the casting mic, is comedian Eric Griffin. We heard a lot about the guys really loving meeting him. So while we're setting up our first lobby, take a look at Nellis Air Force Base. During World War II, a young railroad worker from southern Nevada tried to sign up for the service. At 25, they told him he was too old. He had to get a letter from his employer to sign up to help defend his country. He became a P-47 pilot who was shot down twice and escaped, and went back to his cockpit. 2 days after Christmas, in 1944, was his 70th and last mission over Bastogne, bringing close air support to the Battle of the Bulge. This base carries his name and his heritage. William Nellis was an airman. This base is essential to America's national security. For more than 75 years, in these halls and on these runways, and in the vast expanse above us, our nation's airmen have prepared to fly and to fight for freedom. Nearly 60,000 gunners trained here before they took wing in the Second World War. Many of our fighter aces from Korea and Vietnam sharpened their skills in these skies. And to this day, Nellis Air Force Base trains the best combat aviators in the world. This base is laser focused on testing tactics and training, from the weapons school where the best train with our nation's most lethal technology, to exercise Red Flag, which gives pilots and allies a realistic combat experience. What happens here keeps the armed forces of the United States on the cutting edge to both strategy and strength.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, Craig Burksa, Bryce Borngraber, and Darius Omar Stevens are going to be battling on behalf of Nellis Air Base in a final fight to the death in Warzone. Back in episode 2, we got an in-depth look at their play styles of these 3 wonderful airmen. Will their skill set serve them well in the Command Clash today? Only time will tell. And with me here, of course, to monitor their progress is a COD aficionado and stand-up comedian, actor, and writer, Mr. Eric Griffin. Eric, what's going on, man?
Yes. It's going, man. I'm excited to see this play. These guys together is probably a fantastic group, you know, just because individually they're pretty great, you know, their multiplayer skills, their Warzone skills. So to see them all together, this should be, I'm looking for a victory. That's what I think. I'm looking for a Warzone
Absolutely.
win.
A dub would be nice, wouldn't it? A nice little dub to finish finish their efforts off together as an airbase. I feel like actually with their different play styles, actually the boys are pretty aggressive. Obviously back in episode 2, they were matched up with an extra airman who was serving as their duo partner, and he was a little bit weaker than the rest of the players. So now they're getting to run together. Hopefully they're going to push themselves to the top with their skill sets.
Yes, I think they're going to complement each other well.
I wonder if they're going to be going aggressive play style, especially with someone like Bryce on the team. He obviously always goes for high kill games. Do you think they're going to go for that option, or are they going to play it safe and just wait for those final circles, hopefully taking a really high position?
I think they're going to play off each other's strengths. So I think they're going to let Bryce take the lead, and I think they're all going to like they're all going to like play to the strength of the best player. So I see a aggressive game right here.
Well, I mean, they're going straight into the ports. Outside of the circle, obviously, they're going to have to do a bit of backtracking to get back inside that circle to avoid the gas. But they're going for an early looting session, I guess, down at the port and all the buildings over here. Huge amounts of loot, huge amounts of boxes, a lot of money to be made, and hopefully get an early loadout.
Yeah. I see them getting their loadout pretty fast. A lot of loot over here. Didn't see a lot of people dropping in, so this is a good strategy, especially for an aggressive team, because then they'll push in on the circle and they'll probably pick off a lot of people on the way.
I'm just enjoying watching Bryce pick up everything and his teammates be like, "Oh, I was going to get that. I was going to pick that up."
Yeah, he's a very fast player.
I don't know what you're talking about, Eric. This is normal speed, if anything, slightly slow. You're going to see it. Hey, when we run games together,
I can't wait to see you play. You better be real fast. I'm gonna call you out.
I'm pretty good. We've racked up over 60 kills so far. You know, I'm 60 wins, 60 dubs. Have you had any dubs yourself in Warzone yet?
During World War
Yeah, I mean, I have 38. I have 38 wins. Half of those are solos. Yeah.
That is very solid, actually. That is incredibly respectable.
Yeah. And I'm new at it, too. I basically just started playing the Call of Duty games back with the... I started to play Black Ops, and then I got into it, these Battle Royale games.
Now, was this Black Ops 4, obviously the Blackout mode? Is that what you started off with?
Yeah, Blackout mode. Yeah, that was my first taste of the you know, because I just couldn't do PUBG. I couldn't do it. I just didn't like the graphics, and it was too choppy, and I just... So then when the Black Ops came... Yeah, so slow. And then when Blackout came out, I was like, oh, I love this. And I just was terrible at it. I still haven't won a solo game in Blackout. So when this Warzone came out, it's a little bit more user-friendly, but still has a high skill ratio. So you know, it's a very fun, challenging game. I think they got the right balance with this game. So the really great players will shine, and if you really work at it, you could occasionally get some victories, and that's the position I'm in.
I was about to say they're not picking up much cash, but obviously now we've just seen Focus pick up 2,800. They're really going to be trying to get as much cash together so they can get that early loadout. That's what they should be focusing on. Although they are a little bit split on the map. They look like they're reasonably far away from one another. If they get engaged early on, they could be in trouble.
But I don't... Well, maybe not. I think that when you have these kind of high-level skill players, especially someone like Bryce, I think he'll manage, you know? Because what happens is they're going to run into a team who's going to think there's 3 people around, and they're going to play like that. And I think that his fast game style, he'll be able to down a couple of them, and then that's all he needs to do. You just down 2, then it's a one-on-one.
I love how you describe it. You just down 2, and then there's just one more left. That's how it works.
Yeah, he's down 2, one more left.
My concern, I mean, you're not wrong. My concern is that because Bryce is so fast, again, we saw this previously, skill-based matchmaking would really put the rest of his team up in a very sweaty lobby. Now, is that the lobby that they want to be in? We're going to find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Got himself a cheeky little trophy system. He's already grabbed a vest.
Yeah, he's going for this. Oh wow, they jumped way out. I wonder if this is like is this a strategy that you employ? Would you do it like this? Jump way
absolutely,
far
yeah.
out
I mean,
of the circle just to loot.
a trophy system and a vehicle can get you anywhere you need to go, you know, and I think if you've got a solid squad you're running with, it's better to actually, on that early circle, get yourself a decent amount of guns, get yourself some decent cash, try and get an early loadout, maybe away from the main sweaty part of the map, and then progress your way in, picking up kills as you go. That's generally how a lot of players will do it. But each to their own, you know, there's different play styles. Some people like to drop in the center of the circle and camp out in a building for the whole game. Unfortunately, too many people.
Right. Yeah, it's true. I have a friend that plays like that. He's all about getting recons and then camping the final circle.
Getting those early recons can be rude. Actually, I think when it comes to solo games, probably the meta for trying to get a dub in solos really does revolve around that. Get two or three early recon missions, find out where that late circle is going to be, and then plonk yourself inside of a building inside of it, and hopefully start picking out people as they progress away from the gas. But personally, for me, that doesn't work. I like hard, fast, constantly on the move, and being very aggressive in game style.
Yeah, that's why I like dropping into those hot zones. Lately I've been dropping into Superstore. I've been dropping into, you know, the stadium, because you want that fun play, because this game is fun. But what I'm realizing is, like, you know, a win is great, but how you win really determines what kind of player you are.
Absolutely. I'm pretty upset they haven't yet used the horn on the ATV there. I mean, by now, I would have at least popped my horn once. It's Ride of the Valkyries. Why would you not use it? That's upset me. If just for the meme, it would have been nice to see him pop it.
Yeah, I see that a lot. Sometimes I don't know if people are watching my stream, and that's why they're doing that. It's like, because sometimes I feel like a car is circling a building I'm in or something, and I'm like, is that guy watching me stream?
Are you getting stream sniped? Is that what you're worried about?
Well, especially when because Twitch is so fast. You know, Twitch is like there's not that much delay. I never have to worry about that when I stream on like YouTube. I'm not sure how Facebook is. You stream on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook is pretty good actually, and especially partnered as a partner gamer. The latency is there's not many issues. The delay is very minimal.
Yeah,
but we still get stream sniped. I get stream snipers.
Yeah, those bastards. I hate that.
Oh, I love it. Bring them to me. Not only will they stream snipe, I'll still kill them. Right, so we've got threat level 2 on Military Gamer. He's in fear of getting lit up. We heard a vehicle just arrive. And there's the team. He gets a crack on one of the players, throws out a C4, doesn't get the finish or the down. Where are his teammates?
Yeah, where are his teammates? And that stun didn't work at all on that guy.
Well, there we go. One kill there for Brycifer. Not surprised to see Brycifer moving so fast. He's got, well, Brycifer has definitely taken one from that team.
This is a great move here. He's gotten away. Looks like he's getting into the circle. We'll probably get, how much money do they have enough money to get? Oh, he's going for his loadout. I wonder if they have enough money to get.
No, I think actually, the Military Gamer actually was the one who had all of the cash. Unfortunately, he had about 11 or 12,000.
I hate when that happens. I tend to think in group scenarios you should split the money up early. Unless
it's a great idea. I think they literally just given
together.
all the cash to one player for the loadout, though. That was the only issue. So they were expecting that loadout when that team pushed them.
Yeah.
Spotted by another player there. Recon drone is spotting him. He got the knock there, I believe. Woof. Getting popped from inside the house. Gets the crack on the armor. Doesn't get the down. There it is. There's the down.
See, he shouldn't have thirsted that.
But he traded.
That's what I'm talking about right
traded
there. But he shouldn't have been trying to thirst that death. He should, you know, that's what happened right there.
See, that's where that little drop shot comes in so handy. There is one more player alive. Can't take the finish. And it's off to the gulag they go.
Gulag. I love a good gulag match.
Me too, man. I've actually got obsidian skin on my rock right now. That's how often I spend in the gulag. I'm glad he got that. That Rose operator went in for the punch finish. Didn't get it. He absolutely dominated with the point-blank kill there. Getting the achievement as well. All right, looks like it's up to Bryce. And Focus
I
to
have
get the
faith
team
in
back.
Bryce. I wonder if he's going to get a king. Think he's going to get a king bounty, or what do you think he's going to do here?
Oh,
we
let's see
still
if he
got
gets
somebody
out
else in the
if,
gulag.
if there's gulag. Yeah, Bryce is in the ghoulie right now. Focus is already back in. He knows where he's at. And it's all over. Lovely. Get out of my lobby. Love that. Both reloading back in. So Bryce and Craig are back in action. They'll get some cash together. They'll revive Darius Omar. And hopefully they can get themselves another cheeky loadout.
Yeah, Darius is not having a good Warzone day.
He's definitely found the engagements a little bit more sweaty than the other two boys so far. But often it can really just be, you know, position, luck, and RNG. You know, if you get pinched between two teams and your squad mates are nowhere near you, which is what pretty much happened at the beginning there. He got pinched between 3 players and didn't have his squad mates with him. And unfortunately took the brunt of their attacks. Right, now you see he's going for that supply run. This is exactly what I was saying earlier on. He's picking up the supply run. He's probably going to run straight in and get himself Darius back.
Well, when you have 2
There's been
guys
an
still up,
engagement here
yeah,
already.
supply run works great. Yeah, supply run works great in this situation, but not necessarily, you know, when it's just one person.
Understood. He seems to have spotted something up there on the mountainside. He's going to grab that
Yeah,
ATV from behind the back of this building.
Since that little mini update they did, they've been dropping those thermal kilos. Those are those ground loot guns. What do you think of those?
Thermal guns need to get out of the game. They're almost as bad as burst ARs. For me, it's just not something. I don't know. After a certain level of experience, I think the concept of running with a thermal is just. It's just they're never really good. They haven't got great ADS generally.
Yeah,
that thermal
I
scope
agree with
often
you.
makes the ADS just a little bit slow.
But I do like the burst fire guns. Those hit hard. You got to get headshots, but they hit hard.
You're a braver man than me, Eric Griffin.
Challenge is to
I
win a
cannot run
Warzone
with burst
match.
ARs.
You don't like the burst? You don't like the burst one? Yeah, it's like well, you know, it's just a whole headshot thing. You know, you got to get headshots with every gun. So that one in particular really forces you to practice on that. You know.
Roger that. Now, are you a console player or a PC player?
I'm a console player, but I actually have. But I should really say I'm a controller player because even on my PC that I have, I use a controller. That'll be my next thing to work on is to see if I can get up to that level of keyboard and mouse.
Well, actually, I mean, I think it's whatever you start on. Like I've been a PC player now for quite a few years, and just switching it up just always feels like the most difficult process. You know, changing from one style play to the next.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with like trying to figure
here we go.
out.
They're in pursuit. They're in pursuit of a player here.
And the ADS setting.
And it's a
I'm
team
having
wipe.
trouble with that.
One player on his own. They cleaned him up. That's 4 kills right there, right now for Bryce. He's got 4. I'm not sure how much the other lads are. Maybe we can rotate through our squad here and see how much they've each got. 2 kills there. And our final player, 0 kills right now for Darius, but 6 collectively for the team. That's 6 solid points for Nameless Air Base.
Not bad. And everybody's up. So is everybody up?
Whoa, not anymore. Another team has pushed them. 2 players down. It's up to Focus to see if he can get the finish. And res his teammates. Oh, you don't want to do that, mate. Don't stop resin. 3rd time's a charm, eh?
Yeah, that was difficult. Sometimes it's better when you're playing as a team to pick that one perk where you get res 25% faster. That's a good team perk.
What perks do you normally run on your loadouts then? What are you normally running?
I like EOD. It's just really saved me a number of times. And then I'll go
EOD.
Ghost or High Alert. I love high alert. Not that many people like high alert, but I love high alert.
Understood.
And I'll go with the tracker, or I'll go with a battle hardened. So those are my favorites.
I'm with you on the EOD and the Ghost, absolutely. Right, so they still haven't bought themselves a decent loadout. I'm not sure why. They've got easily enough money. There's a buy station across the road. Maybe that's what they're purchasing right now. It looks like one of the players might have picked up the cash. Is about to throw down the loadout marker.
Do they need plate? Oh, they don't need plates. They're good.
Oh, they got enough money for a loadout and a couple of stacks of plates as well. In fact, they probably got enough for an armor box. There you go. Get an armor box in his inventory. Grabbing a UAV, I'd pop that immediately, just see if anyone else is pushing up on them.
Yeah, see if anybody's around. Even though, like, towards the middle of the game, those UAVs are probably 60% effective, you know, considering all the people that have running those.
Speaking of effective UAVs, they're seeing 2 players across the street right now in that building they were just in. 1 downed. Yeah. There is a second. Looks like he has FMJ bullets in that gun. He just popped it through the wall a couple of times. I don't think that was a lag. Team wipe. That's another 2 kills racked up to the team. And that would be another 2 points in the kitty for Nellis Air Base. Now the Ghost perk comes out for the rest of the teammates as well.
Yeah, there's. Oh, he's just. Why is he window shopping? I think they're taking too long to window shop here.
He's just having a little look. He's just seeing what he fancies, mate. He's like, do I run a little sniper, or am I going to keep the pusher class?
Yeah.
I think he's gone for the pusher class. He's keeping the AR and the SMG, which is what I like to run with as well. But every now and then, it's nice to switch out for a sniper, especially on those final circles. You know, you can't underestimate how important a good sniper will be in those final circles, especially when you've got someone camping in a bush across the map. You know,
man, I'm just not good with a sniper. I'm still trying to work on it. The only ones I can, the marksman's rifles are the only ones that I'm sort of getting better with. So I really got to work on those big snipers. But it's just so difficult.
If I can give you a suggestion, I want to see you start running with a HDR. And honestly, it's just practice. But once you level that gun up and you put the extended barrels on it, you put the the variable scope. You really can absolutely slap with it from great distance, and it makes such a big difference. You can one-shot people and down them, you know, and that really is important for these Warzone maps.
I know, because that happens to me all the time. I'm tired of getting one shot. That's my whole point. That's why one of my new strategies now, especially in solos, is you have to get a self-revive, because you get sniped, you're out of the game. You know, because you get downed, and so you got to get that self-revive just for the sniping.
Right, they can see people over there doing a little recon mission. Are they going to push in and take care of business? Oh, and you also got someone reviving a teammate even closer up on the buy station, just below them. See that red flare go up? We know what's going on down there.
Let's see now. What do we got here? There's 12 teams left. Oh, they're doing good. And they're in a great position. They got the high ground. That's a good spot up there. So this looks like they.
I love that. Darius Omar Stevens has said, "This is enough. I need some kills. I need to start pushing my kill count up. I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive from the high ground and start popping this team below." Oof! Nice quick scope there. Bryce trying to get the finish. Whew. Gets a hit, not a finish.
Every time I see a quick scope,
trading shots now with the other sniper.
Ooh, they're trading.
He's got to be careful of his plates because he's got 0 plates. Yeah, he's got a little bit greedy there.
And that's a fight I don't think you should fight. I think that one is a waste of time, because you're going to be trading, and then their players are right there to revive. All you're doing is wasting plates and ammo in that situation.
Well, fortunately, he had a nice little armor box he's just dropped for his squad mates. But that Bertha pushed slightly up the hill. You can see on the western side of the map there, on the mini map. So I think there's another team that are pushing up towards to engage them. They've got to keep their eyes to the left as well to make sure they don't get popped from the flank.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting some nice shots in, getting a few nice hits, but no downs, no finishes. He's really got to connect those headshots if he wants to push this kill counter even further up.
Surgical with this thing, though. His movement and his pace of play is really nice. And I like how he's keeping himself.
There we go.
See? But this is what I'm saying, though. That's a down, but I don't think he's going to get that kill. I don't think he's going to get that kill. That's the hard part about that.
On the plus side, I mean, if they had a nice little precision airstrike or a cluster strike to send down there, that could have got the finish. I mean, they're just keeping this high ground, all of them running with some snipe.
They just recently changed the prices of those, too, I noticed. They've made the precision airstrike a little bit more expensive than the cluster strike.
Loadout drop inbound.
Right, here we go. They're making a push down the hill now. Oh, two of them down and out. Hopefully he can get the revive here on his teammate without getting lit up. Hits the deck. He should be able to do so. Oh, a little bit too late. Too little, too late. He can't climb that rock either. He's trapped up on that hillside. He's got to keep rotating and moving around so he doesn't get popped by that sniper down the hill. If I were him, I'd be taking the parachute and just dropping off the edge right now. Getting into the circle, getting away from that engagement. And that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, you got to go. Yeah, he's getting out of there. He's got a plate up. There you go.
Someone else's recon here.
That's some of my biggest mistakes.
It might be a team
reloading and
plating
up. I don't know if at this stage in the game they're going to risk it. They see how exposed it is, and the recons do kind of tell you that what direction it's pushing towards.
He's looking for that knock.
He's not hitting his shots.
Those quick scopes are good, but not as precise as he needs them to be. He's also leaving his right-hand side open. Obviously, his player behind him is going to C4. Goes for the knock, doesn't get it. Is being lit up from both sides. He is pinched in 3 directions now. Bertha going in on the loadout. What on earth is he doing? Thirsting that final kill. He's got to watch out for that team behind him. He's got to watch out for the guys further up the hillside. He's got to watch out for that gas because he has got no mask.
Oh, I hear somebody running to his right. They're coming for him right now. Oh, this is good. He got lucky because it's a third-party situation.
It's an absolute sweat fest for him. At this point, I think really it's very unlikely he'll get the dub with 2 players unless he can get himself across that buy station. But again, he doesn't have the cash to revive either of his teammates, unfortunately. Right now, I think it's just get as many kills as possible and hold out and hope the other teams light each other up, pushing him and the rest of his squad into a higher position for points.
Yes, and he might get some money from all these kills. Boy, there's so much going on.
Love that. Late stage scavenger hunt. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, he sees a little rat.
Because all he needs is to get...
And he gets the finish. Trying to grab that vest. Unfortunately, getting caught out by the fact... Here we go. He reloads up. Gets his plates refilled. Got that snipe on point again. Tries to crack that guy behind the rock. Doesn't get the hit. Unfortunately, does trade with the other sniper. Now, will he get lit up? Unfortunately, taken out in the Big Bertha. We knew it was going to happen. Someone camping under the bridge, and it's all over for them. But 4th place, an incredibly respectable
fourth place is solid.
Took out all the kills.
Solid.
Right, there we have it, the end of that sweaty Warzone match. These 3 legends from Nellis Air Base banked themselves 22 points, 10 for the 4th place finish, and then another 12 for the various kills across the entire team. Lads, that's a great effort. Are you proud of what you did down there?
No. I could not win a gulag. I couldn't win the gulag. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I shot and I just missed, and I was like, man, that's 4,000 that I'm taking away from the team that they did to buy me back. Well, it wasn't too bad overall, but I was not proud of me losing my gulag.
Listen, sometimes we beat the gulag, sometimes the gulag beats us. That's just the way it is. But Darius, you did get a few kills there. You racked up a few nice kills. Definitely supports. I saw your damage at the end of the game. You were definitely supporting the other 2 members of the squad.
Yeah, I just wish that when we were facing that one team, instead of picking up, I think the loadout I got was M4 and MP5. I wish I got like an M4 and a sniper, so therefore we wouldn't be able to finish off that team, since they were easily picking. Or they were easily peeking so they can get sniped, but I just didn't have a sniper to do it or the ammo to like consistently challenge. I only had like 90 rounds left. So.
I saw a few little cheeky head glitches. They definitely had a few snipers trained on you boys when you were up on that hillside, and you almost trapped Bryce. I saw that in those last final circles. Yeah. You were trapped on the side of the hill. What were you thinking in that moment? How were you going to get out of it?
My thought at the end, which obviously was the end of the match, was trying to get in that vehicle and just, you know, kind of use it as cover. I was gonna get it, turn it around, hop out and use it as cover, you know, kind of like a little PUBG strat that people used to do with vehicles. So I've been playing Battle Royales for a while now, so kind of know a little bit of cheeky, ratty strats.
Until someone snipes your big toe underneath the vehicle, and then it's all over for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Bryce, I mean, even though, you know, the ending, you were pretty much a sitting duck inside of a cage, you also got the most kills in that game, so you really brought some points home for the boys. Is that your aggressive style of play? Do you think that's what carried you through there?
I think it's just, I know I've been playing for a while, so I kind of know how to pick my battles, you know, based on weapons. Just like Darius said, like he knew kind of to stay away from that team because he didn't have a sniper, but I did, so I was just trying to get more knocks and pick people off. So I wouldn't say I'm aggressive necessarily, because I definitely do play passive at times. It just depends on weapons and depends on the situation with how I go into a situation.
Except when you were trading shots with that sniper down behind that little hut, and your plates had all been broken, and yet you're still thirsted to try and get the finish. I saw that.
Yeah, at that point he's pissing me off.
There you go. You had to show him who's boss. And Craig, I mean, a great support. You got a decent amount of kills. Also a good squad player. What would you have done differently, do you think, if you were trying to keep yourself and Darius up for those final circles? How could you have done it slightly differently?
I definitely would have chosen a different loadout. I kind of got stuck with Darius. I think we both went for the M4, the assault rifle, and then a secondary, SMG. So probably something with a little more utility to kind of like help them out, kind of draw, maybe the enemy team out and just keep that pressure on them, keep that fire on them, so that they can make the necessary moves to pick the team off and get those kills and allow us to advance. So definitely probably the loadout for sure.
It's such a difficult decision to make, because you know that it's coming to those final circles. A pusher class is always going to be pretty solid. However, a sniper can work out well depending on your positioning. Obviously, up high on the side of the mountain, that would have been the optimum loadout. But you boys did really well together. You guys actually don't play regularly together, am I correct? This is not people that you've played with before?
Never.
So to come to a game like that, take 4th place in your first ever Warzone match, playing together as a trio squad, I think you should be incredibly proud of what you did. How do you guys feel at the end of that? You're proud of your efforts?
Yeah, wasn't too bad, honestly.
I feel like we came together pretty well.
Well, lads, you should be incredibly proud of your efforts there. 22 points in the bank for Nameless Air Base. Will it be enough to win Command Clash? We'll find out shortly.
Wow, Nameless did some work for sure. 4th place, 12 kills. That nets them 22 points. That's definitely got to feel good, and no pressure to the other air bases. I'm not sure if they're watching, but that's quite the score to beat right out of the gate. So next up, it is Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland with Staff Sergeant Courtney Touche, Senior Airman Diana Reed, and Airman Alexander Young. Special guest analyst joining Jeff for this one is Call of Duty League's own Nameless. Now, check out what goes down at JBSA Lackland, and when we get back, we'll find out if Nameless can be beat. Joint Base San Antonio is the largest and most diverse joint base in the Department of Defense. Here, More than 50,000 acres at 4 major locations. Training, education, healthcare, combat support, cyber operations, and installation services take center stage. Joint Base San Antonio has more Department of Defense students and more active runways than any other military installation. JBSA Lackland is home to the 59th Medical Wing and the 37th Training Wing, which graduates nearly 80,000 young men and women from Air Force Basic, Technical, Security, and International training each year. Lackland Air Force Base dates back to July 4th, 1942, and with general mobilization following Pearl Harbor, the San Antonio Aviation Cadet Center grew rapidly. Naming the base happened on July 11th, 1947, after Brigadier General Frank D. Lackland, whom originated the idea of an aviation cadet reception and training center at the base location. Since 1946, JBSA Lackland has been described as the gateway to the Air Force.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet your JBSA Lackland Airmen. We've got Courtney Touche, we got Diana Reed, and we got Alexander Young, who are going to be battling on behalf of their base in a final fight to the death in Warzone. Now, back in episode 3, we got an in-depth look at the play style of these 3 fantastic airmen. A couple of them slightly more reserved, looking to hold out for those final circles, and one of them, Alexander Young, way more aggressive and looking for a high kill game. But will their respective abilities push them up the points ladder in Command Clash today? It's time we found out, chat. And of course, with me here to monitor their progress is former COD Pro, host of the CODcast and streamer, Nameless. What's going on, Nameless? Welcome back.
Not much, man. I'm having a blast casting these games. I'm excited for them to team up and see if some of that chemistry that they have on base translates into Warzone.
Agreed. Now, Airmen, grab your loadout, get down to the drop plane because things are about to get very, very sweaty. Ghost out. And now it's just going to be me and you, Nameless, watching the action as it unfolds and hopefully picking apart these Airmen's playstyle and pointing out where they've gone wrong so they can improve themselves and become as good as us one day.
I'll tell you what, dude, watching all this Warzone has me itching to hop on. So tomorrow I'm hopping on Warzone. I'm grinding all day. You can catch me at twitch.tv/nameless. There's the plug. I owed you one after earlier.
Twitch.tv/nameless, aka hashtag shameless plug. There we go. That's what we do it. Well, yeah, of course you can do the same. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm constantly doing the hard sells right now. I mean, I got none of that Twitch love, but if you want to check out facebook.gg/Jeff Leach comedian, you too can find some epic Warzone plays. I still love playing the game, man. Do you get to run games pretty often? So have you lost the love for it yet?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been playing COD since forever, right? And this year, Warzone brought my love back to just grinding every day. I played it every day for 4 months or so, and I was like, I gotta take a break, dude. I was dreaming about it. I was like, I'm getting off. I took a month break or 2 month break or so when we were finishing up the COD League season, and now I'm back. I played again for the first time in a month today, and I was loving it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna ration it so I don't get tired of it. So I'm gonna play a couple hours.
I'm glad to hear you say that, man, because it does get the same for me. You'll play relentlessly all day, every day. Start to get frustrated with certain elements, maybe a couple of little glitches or bugs that might be present in the game at that particular time. Starts to wear you down, and then if you take a day or two out, you miss it and you have to come back to it.
That's exactly what happens, dude. I hadn't played in a month, and I got on today, and I was like, oh, it's a new meta. I forgot. Last time I played it was Bruin. Today it was Kilo and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so refreshing, man. I'm having a blast. So yeah, you just gotta, sometimes take a day, maybe a week off, and you'll come back feeling brand new, because it's a super fun game, but you can get caught in that cycle sometimes.
You said you started dreaming about the game. A few months ago, there were obviously some pretty serious riots going on here in Los Angeles. And during that period of time, I was playing COD for about 7 to 8 hours every day, 6 days a week on stream. And then I would walk out I would switch the game off, put my headphones down, walk outside, and there would be choppers going over the top of my head. There would be armed militia in the streets, armed servicemen in the streets as well. I was like, it's happening, get the load out. My girlfriend was terrified. I was like, grab the guns, keep up, we gotta loot.
Dude, that's crazy, bro. See, that's why you just had to stay in and grind, though, because you go outside, it's wild. Dude, we had the similar thing out here in Columbus. I live in, like, the city, so we had, like, the riots and stuff happening. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grind. So that whole time, I was just grinding the game, dude, just putting hours in, and that's what drove me to be like, I'm going to take a break.
And as an ex-COD pro player as well, you obviously get into a point where I know a number of different pro players. I mean, I'm signed to Tempo Storm, not as a pro player, just as an influencer, shoutcaster, host, etc. But I know that a lot of the guys I talk with from that esports org, it gets to a point where the game really does become a job. It becomes a job to play for the pro players.
Yes.
And a lot of the love for just playing it can be lost quite rapidly.
Oh, in multiple ways. I mean, I remember when I was getting on a scrim every day, when you're just practicing, you play like 4 or 5 hours of scrims, then you're spending 2 hours watching film, and you're getting better and better, but the love for it gets like taken out. You get on and it's just like, I'm working right now. And then even with Warzone, it's super fun, but when you're a streamer and it's your job, it can get a little bit frustrating. So you got to constantly dig deep to find like what you enjoy out of it and focus on that. So, you know, so watching these guys play and throughout the tournament so far today is like we were just talking about, it's got me excited to play again because
it's reinvigorated that love for you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Seeing people fall in love with the
Also,
game
I hear
makes
that
me realize
now you're actually developing your new pro player career as a Fall Guys pro player. Is that correct?
Yes, dude. I'm nasty at Fall Guys, bro. I've been grinding, dude. I love that game, dude. That game's fun as hell. It's like, it's my second game now, right behind Warzone.
Right, here we go. The Lackland team have marked themselves a nice little recon mission over at Storage Town. They decided on that for their drop. High loot there, lots of garages to run in and out of, open up those loot boxes and hopefully get a decent early game loadout, but also quite a sweaty drop. And they may experience quite a few engagements straight off the rip. Is that where you would have headed?
I actually do like the storage drop or landing like gas and rotating over to storage. There's a lot of loot here. There's usually a buy station and you're in between Superstore and Boneyard where there's a ton of people. So it's actually a pretty good drop zone. They can get a ton of loot, get a loadout, and get going early.
Absolutely correct there. You can see they've already got a couple of nice little tasty guns. Watching, I believe that's Navan there has picked up a nice P90. Oh, a nice red crown. I was using the red crown yesterday on stream, actually. It absolutely slaps. Only got a loadout. I think it's a 30 mag clip. But still, if you're landing those headshots, you can still drop at least 3 players if you're being precise with your shots.
Yeah, so what do they have right now? They have like 6 grand, a little bit more. So they're close. You got to move over. So it looks like they're going over towards airport. Airport's scary because it's like multi-layered. There's a garage. There can be people everywhere. So I'd like to see them like move as a unit. Don't play like too scared. Move as a unit, stick together, and push team fights.
Absolutely. Also looks like Mage here seems to be checking her 6, but the rest of the team has already pushed across the airport, like you said. If they split that team too far, that could be mad business for them.
Yeah, she's kind of left out here in the dust. They're moving over towards airport to get that scavenger. It looks like she's hanging out inside of storage. There's not much loot left here, and also she has half the money, so she's gonna have to link up with them just so they can combine funds. And it looks like they're double tracking. One of them's coming back.
What does it feel like as well? She just picked up a Bruin there, and I believe she also has another 5.56 gun there. Picking up 2 guns that run the same ammo. Not really the best decision, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, but she switches it out for a sniper, so I think she was aware right when you were saying that. So now they see somebody doing a recon over there. Whenever I see a recon in the sky, I don't know about you, when I see a recon, I go, all right, run at them. They're bots. Run right at the recon in the sky.
Enemy UAV overhead.
There you go, vehicle powering around the outside from the warehouse over there on the western side of the map, heading up towards potentially going all the way up as far as the dam if they can take that road up there. She outlines a few shots and then tries to pop at them, gets a couple of hits, but of course, no drops, no downs, and ultimately no kills to add to the points list.
Yeah, so their strategy was to land storage, and you have a good rotation from storage, but they're not taking advantage of it. They have about like a minute before it's going to get scary, right? Because that's when everybody else is finalizing their first rotation. So you got to move over here. They're finally doing it, moving over towards airport. They're going to have a team fight here soon. So this is where, like, this is the make or break point of the game. You either get your money, win your fight, or you die and hit the gulag.
Now, how do you feel about the AKMs there? I see someone just marked a nice cheeky AKM, but didn't pick it up. That would be my decision as well. I feel like the recoil on those are just absolutely horrendous, especially for ground loot.
Yeah, the recoil is ridiculous. I would just run around, so I found like an Uzi, like what he has in his hand, or like an Odin or something like that. I mean, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Like if I don't have a gun, I'm picking up what's in front of me. I'm trying to get money and get my loadout immediately.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, they got enough for a loadout. Speaking of which, $11,200 collectively between the entire team. Are they going to mark a buy station? Yes, dropping money there for the rest of the squad. Grab that, get over to the buy station, and let's get that loadout so we can all be running with a decent and proper set of guns that we're used to using. That will be the play.
They also have a trophy, so they could throw it on that vehicle and be impervious to like C4 and rocket launchers and stuff, which is a play you see a lot of people make when they're trying to play aggressive, but not opting to go that route. You got some people who are the foot warriors, and you have people who like the vehicles. I like vehicles. I like to fly around the map.
You like hanging out the side of an ATV?
Got some body armor.
Absolutely, bro. ATV, trophy on the whip.
Oh, I love it. Trophy on the whip, ATV, wind flowing through your beard, maybe a flower behind your ear, just living the dream.
Living the absolute dream, bro. Hopping off, beaming a squad, hopping back on, I'm on to the next spot. And they got the loadout now, so they're looking solid.
I'm always interested when people decide to drop a loadout in such an open expanse, especially next to all those tall buildings next to them. See those apartment complexes do have roofs that people could be sitting up on top of and sniping. Feels like maybe putting your loadout in a bit more of a protected area would have been a better bet. They got away with it this time, but that could have cost them dearly if there were a team above them.
Absolutely. Also, there's 110 people left in this lobby, so they're actually in a very good lobby. This means that there's a lot of people who have landed maybe outskirts of the map or playing pretty safe.
Oh, there we go, vehicle pushing in there. It's got a trophy system on top, so that C4 will damage them. It's a double down. I'm hoping they're going to be thirsty for the finish. Another player jumps up on the roof there. He cracks the armor, a C4 to the face, and they get the team wipe. That was an epic bit of play. And I bet they're going to be glad that Alex was the one who was up on the roof there, engaging that final player. 3 kills racked up for them. That's 3 points in the bank. G to the G's.
I have no idea how that C4 blew up that car, by the way.
With the trophy system on the back of it, yeah, it did nothing. I think actually what happened is that 2 of them might have thrown their C4s because they all had their loadouts. I believe 2 of them threw their C4s. Potentially Alex also threw one off the roof. He's now thirsting these players on top of the buildings over there towards the airport hangars. Unfortunately, he's getting a little locked in. He's done this on previous matches back in episode 3, where he will get fixated on one area, trying to thirst those kills and forget to look on his 6, look at the flanking positions and see if he's going to get lit up by another team or third party.
Yep, right now there's a full squad over there near police station. You see him activating that thermal. I think that player had cold-blooded on, so not going to do too much damage. They have a couple snipers out. That player's getting bold up there. He wants to take the fight. They're going to get a down, actually, so now is a time where you can push and get a position.
Absolutely. As soon as you get 1 or 2 of that team down, you should really be pushing aggressively, unless, of course, you have got a precision airstrike or a cluster strike that you can send in to do the job for you. He ghoulies off the top, sorry, parachutes off the top down to the police station. I guess they'll be hunkering down there. 1 still on the roof. And it's a nice down there from Alex. Navan gets the down. Will the teammates push up top to get the revive, or will they leave him to his fate?
Yeah, they're getting a lot of downs here, but they're not getting any finishes. You got to be able to finish these guys off, but, you know, so far so good. They have to rotate, so they know that, and they're trying to clean these guys up. you got to try to maybe down them, then make a break for it, because you have to move it. And far at that, I can't even see the edge of where this line ends.
Another crack there, another cracked armor. I think really what we're seeing here as well is obviously Alex is a little more experienced across the board in terms of gameplay. He goes down to pick up a few plates, some ammo, and see if there's anything else he wants down there. Maybe that C4, yep, you yoink that. But I think when you've got one player on the team who is a lot more aggressive and maybe has a little bit more skill when it comes to precision shots, like you were seeing with those snipers, and then the other two are a little less experienced, it means it's quite difficult to get the finishes. You can get the knocks, you can get the downs, but like you say, without the push, it's not going to result in points because there will be no finishes and no kills.
Yeah, this is scary though. There's 20 seconds left until the circle advances. They have to move, and there's people around them. So this is the position I try to avoid getting in. And now they have a team to their left, a team to their right, and likely people waiting for them to get into the circle. So their best bet is to wipe this squad to the left immediately and then grab a vehicle. But that's going to require them to hit some good shots. So we'll see if they're able to clutch up.
Little sniper glare there from the scope.
Losing ground. Friendly UAV overhead.
Yancey's has taken some pretty bad damage. All of her plates missing, half of her health gone. The engagement is real. A cluster strike being sent in over the top of them. A player back on the corner. We just saw that ping on the map, on the mini map. A player back on the corner of that hangar. They're going to try and gatekeep. Unfortunately, they're being lit up from the top of the buildings next to fire station. Alex gets a great down on that player. Again, though, will there be a finish to thirst it? Or will the teammate of that player be able to revive?
Well, good thing for them is they have a truck to, evade out of the situation. There's a team to their left still. So they have positioning as well. So they can get these kills and get out. There goes another down. Dude, Navan is frying this game. That's like 5 downs.
Absolutely. It clearly has got the prowess with that custom rifle there. The man knows how to use his sniper scope, and he is not afraid to whip it out. No pun intended.
There's more players though, and he's getting bold and challenging. He has what? No plates left.
Zero spare plates. Yeah.
Yeah, and look at the rotation. I don't know why they didn't take the truck. They could have took the truck and bounced, but now they give the truck up to the opponent, and they still have a decently far rotation. That truck is out. It went far left. You only get one out of that exchange.
And speaking of taking the truck and getting to a better circle position, that's exactly what the team behind them has done. They've missed out on that opportunity. Fortunately, though, this means they won't be lit up from behind anymore because it seems that team has pushed up ahead of them. But like you say, they've probably taken the truck, pushed up into the circle further up, ready to gatekeep Nirvana and the rest of the team as they try and make their way into the circle.
Yeah, the storm's moving really slow, so they have time to make a different move and maybe go wide right. But wide right is what I like to call Death Valley. The area between TV station and the hills, that's where a lot of teams die because people camp on either side. So we'll see if they're able to navigate through this one. All 3 are still alive. All have their gulags.
At least they got their plates refreshed as well. And a cluster strike sitting pretty there. May just got a nice little cluster strike for a later on engagement. They see the king over there moving fast. Must be inside of a vehicle, perhaps, on the edge of the circle.
Allied cluster strike inbound.
Definitely using that head glitch with the little jumps, the little hop and snipe, hop and snipe. Unfortunately, spent too long ADS'd in and did not see the sniper scope that's just popped him in the face. Phoenix is down. She will get revived.
There, going in.
Fortunately, her teammate was directly behind her to give that assist.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Jeff. This is the Death Valley. You see everybody in the hills. You got to hit some really good shots, and Navon gonna beam one straight to the dome. That's a huge shot. The finish comes in. Team eliminated. Now you can advance. You got to get over this hill. You got to get positioning. Wow.
Another down there as well. Absolute beast. Tries to get the finish. He's thirsting it. He's ignoring the player on his left. We know there's another player there on his left. Gets a crack on the armor. He's definitely gonna have to pull back to refresh those plates now, Navan. Mage focusing in, trying to get the finish. They got to be careful of that gas though. Nothing worse than dying to the green stuff.
Yeah, it's the worst thing ever, but there's snipers everywhere. Good thing for them is they have the best sniper in the lobby right now. He's not missing, strictly getting headshots. That's another down and a full.
And another finish. Love that.
And there's a player to the left.
I tell you what, though, the movement seems to be much better from this squad running together right now. They clearly are talking together. They're clearly using their comms properly. The circle management has been hit and miss, but at least they're sticking together close as a squad so that when one player gets downed, there's always another on deck ready to revive and bring them back into the fray.
Yeah, and on top of it all, they're hitting good shots, too. And they just spotted another player. They're not going to decide to engage right away. It looks like they are looking for somebody over here that they may have downed earlier that got up. So they're on the hunt.
Ooh.
But don't spend too much time because
taking shots from the back there on their sticks. Up on the hillside, taking a couple of shots up on the mountainside. He's marked it. They're going to be pulling back from that and keeping the cover between them and that sniper. I wonder how many kills they've got total so far. 2 here for Sweetest Mage, 4 for Navan. And I wonder if our third player on the squad has racked up any kills as of yet.
Location marked. Move up.
Yeah, they're doing good so far. Sitting at least 6. On the third circle as well. It's a solid game.
Keeping those heads on a swivel. Desperately trying to find people. Good pings, though. I do like that. There's nothing better than running with a squad that actively pings the opponents they're spotting on the map. There's nothing worse than someone being like, over there, over there. Over where, you bloody idiot? Give me a ping. That's what we're looking for.
All right, so they got some money. I'm seeing what they're trying to get. Looks like they're just getting more plates and getting kitted up for the end of the game here. 50 people left. This lobby's been dying very slowly, right? There's a lot of kills still available.
Enemy UAV overhead.
If I'm
Hey, it's
Navan,
Call of
I'm trying to
Duty,
get...
my man. You know where they are. Those 53 players that are left alive other than this team, they're probably sitting inside buildings, camping it out. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, they're definitely all camping right now. It's been dying super slow. But the circle's right there. You got through Death Valley. You're in a decent position. You all have your loadouts. You just got a bunch of new plates. You just got to keep the comms flowing. You can't get too overzealous right now.
Absolutely, and I also love the fact that, again, the synergy is there between the 3 of them, keeping close, keeping on each other's 6s, keeping their heads on a constant swivel, looking left, looking right, especially Sweetest Mage. She really does have that down pat, ensuring that she's never going to let anyone creep up and flank her or the rest of her team.
Yeah, I don't know if that most wanted is still up or not, if that's what they were looking at. Looks like they were trying to push something, but maybe just slowly checking every building. It doesn't seem like there's any players located over this area. I think they cleaned them all up. Yeah, and there's some chests and some loot here. Precision out of a box. That's
Lovely
nice.
free precision airstrike. Yeah, we'll have that. Yoink. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a team fighting over there. That player's down. So looks like there's a few players over there near the warehouse.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, waited just a little too long for that finish there. Was hoping to pop the teammate when they went in for the revive and third party them. Unfortunately, waited just a second too long, Navan, and didn't get the down the other team would have done. That could have cost him 1 or 2 kills. Third partying from a distance here with a sniper rifle. Can't connect those shots though, unfortunately. You got to feel for that player down by the garage there. He has got to be stressed with 2 teams pinching him from either direction. Nothing worse than that.
And then nature as well. The gas is coming in right behind that guy. The circle's right there for them so they can push up. You see them pinging everything that they're going to. So yeah, they're on point right now, just advancing, getting control. They have enough to buy some more plates if they need it. I believe all 3 of them are running a sniper as well, so we got a firing squad.
We got a nice buy station directly to their left-hand side so they can collect that money together and hopefully pick themselves up a few more plates. And you're right, man, it's never nice to be pinched between 2 teams, but of course, Mother Nature, she is a surly mistress, and she will take you out. That gas is unrelenting and takes no prisoners.
Absolutely. They marked some weapon on the ground. So there's a loadout here. Some people grab some weapons. Somebody flying back
taking
in.
a shot at the ghoulie.
Right?
Come
Will
on.
they get it?
Oh, didn't even have a go. Didn't even have a go. Boo. Phoenix should have taken that shot. Would have been beautiful to see a nice little down from the ghoulie.
Enemy team, stay sharp.
Yeah, I'm going for the
threat level
for the clip every time.
Threat level always sits there pretty high straight off the bat. They came in with an orange threat level, which means the other team must be pretty close to them, probably pitched up in one of those buildings opposite. It could be that team over by the bounty that we can see on the mini map there, or potentially there around the back of them. Threat level goes down to 1.
Yeah, threat level's down to 1. I think somebody inside of one of the warehouses grabbed the bounty, and they got some good sniper shots out here that look like a headshot, only gonna crack armor. And now they're just playing for the circle now, right? They're about to be on the 5th circle here in about a minute. Just taking their time.
Clever plays. I think this is the way to do it. As we've discussed over our shoutcasting in episode 3, the best plays do seem to be high kills early in game and then really holding on to that circle, holding on to a defensible position and ensuring that you don't get lit up by another squad. Another squad, of course, pushing behind them out the back of that hangar. They managed to get a few shots off of them. I don't know if they got the downs or the kills, but they're certainly giving as good as they're taking right now.
Yeah, they're in a great spot. They just caught some players rotating in. There's another player located behind them that they're getting ready to shoot. They're going to crack armor. And they have the windows to beam him down as well. So I think it's 2 more that they're dealing with. And Navan is just absolutely not missing right now.
Woo! And neither is the player he's going up against. He's thirsting. He isn't going to play it up. He's got to play up. The aggressive push there from Phoenix does not pay off. And unfortunately, she gets taken out on that aggressive push. As you can see, flanked by another player. So it's just 2 of them still up right now. The gulag is already closed. They're going to be hard pressed to hold on to this position. The gas is coming in pretty fast. It feels like that team of 2 is pushing hard. Gets a nice crack on the armor. Unfortunately, can't get the finish or the down. She gets taken down with a thermite grenade, and she's out of the play. That's the end of the game. 13th place, a respectable final position, and a serious amount of kills for this team. They did pretty well there. We see 4 kills for Navan, 2 for, of course, our second player there. Missed the username before it got whipped off the screen from us. Ladies and gentlemen, GG's. That was a very respectable game. You guys did incredibly well. I feel like you put together all of the information from your previous plays in episode 3, and you brought that to the game today in your final Warzone match for your base. Was that the plan from the start? Go nice and heavy straight off the rip, and then play a bit more of a consistent, conservative gameplay for the final circles?
So I think that we wanted to get a synergy first to see how we were doing. We wanted to kind of play it safe at the beginning and then just start to go in hard at the end. I think our positioning was unfortunate with the circle, honestly.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you got pushed pretty hard there by a couple of different teams. But I gotta say, first of all, 2 of you at least, and I saw everyone running with snipers, but 2 of you were absolutely fire with your sniper rifles there. That accounted for pretty much all of those 6 kills your team managed to wrap up. Is that a sniper? You're a sniper heavy team, I can see that. That's obviously your favorite gun to run with.
I like to run with the sniper.
Yeah, always a sniper. And Warzone, for sure. Gotta get those long distance kills. I didn't even get a kill, but I have like, I don't know, like 1,500, 1,900 damage just in sniper shots. So definitely run with a sniper as long as you can finish them out.
Absolutely, Courtney. Hey, we're not gonna dismiss the efforts that you put in there, even though you got 0 kills, like you say, plenty of assists and cracking plenty of armor. We saw that on the screen there. Now, speaking about kills, though, Alexander Young, you obviously racked up 4 for the team there, getting some great finishes, some wonderful headshots as well with a quick scope. You've been practicing heavily to try and make sure you can get those downs.
Sniping is definitely one of the things that I've kind of just done my entire life. Xbox is, Modern Warfare 2 days, quick scoping and everything. So definitely something I like to do in Warzone if I can. That's pretty much what I ran with the whole game, was a sniper. So even without a suppressor, we still love to do it. So
And in that push at the end, it feels like that final engagement you had there, there was a little bit, it feels like the only part where communications might have broken down slightly, that Alex, you were actually sitting inside the hangar with another player, and then who was it who pushed out aggressively to try and get the finish on the down players?
That was me.
What was going on there, Diana? Because it felt a little bit like you got split from the rest of your team and unfortunately paid the price for that.
I did. I thought they were straight in front of me, so I went to go finish some kills because I thought they would. Well, they did, right? They were supporting me, but I didn't know the team was on the right. I thought they were right in front of me. I was looking for them. I couldn't quite see them, and then they came in from my right and just took me out. So
the power of the first. Sometimes it giveth, sometimes it taketh away, and unfortunately, it tooketh away your life there. The rest of the squad got pushed pretty hard, but a very respectable score, ladies and gent. You got 4 kills, 2 kills, and of course that 14th placement, which will rack you up some points. So GG's, congratulations, and well done across the board. It's been a blast, folks. Thank you very much to all of the airmen for their valiant efforts today, and of course our celebrity guest, Nameless, for his valued play-by-plays there in the Warzone match. Handing back now to the voice we all want inside of our heads, the lovely Lisa Malambri.
Thanks, Jeff. Valiant effort by our Lackland Airmen indeed, Jeff, but you can't shortchange them a placing. So that was actually 13th place. They got 6 kills, so that'll net them 8 points, but still not enough to beat Nellis. So that's just gonna put them in the 2nd place for now. And the storyline here is, can Nellis be beat? Davis-Monthan Air Force Base and Joint Base Langley-Eustis will get their shot in a little bit, but right now, it's halftime, and it wouldn't be complete without a musical performance. So allow me to introduce American singer-songwriter and the sickest beatboxer I know. And I'm not just saying that because he's my friend, okay? I mean, maybe I am, but he really is. Everyone, please hype it up in chat for Blake Lewis. Come on out. Yeah, you here. You right here. Elbows. Blake, so fantastic for you to A, be here. 2, I just told them that your beatboxing skills are tier 1. So can you please show
tier
them?
1. All right, I'll give you a little something. So. Lisa.
That's me. Amazing, Blake. You are so awesome. Some people actually might know you from American Idol season 6. You almost won. You almost won. 2nd place. Close. But hey, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. That really is. And you've had such success since. And I mean, I know that's been a while back, but you've been, as I said, successful, doing a lot of things. What have you been doing since? What's going on now? Give us the deets.
I have made 5 albums since then. Crazy to think about. I've been producing other artists. It's a real passion of mine, trying to see other artists' vision come to life. And I just had a new song come out about a month ago on Excision's label Subsidia with a new group called Everything Must Go. And the response has been fantastic. And I'm back here in Washington enjoying life.
Yes, we are. We are here. Fantastic. And you brought your gear with you.
I got all kinds of gear.
You need this. This is, I don't even know, what am I looking at right now?
You were looking at a loop machine by Boss, the RC505, and a Chaos Pad, which is a sampler, which allows me to record my voice, record my voice instantaneously.
Hey, that was
back for you.
Yeah.
Will you give me something?
Oh.
Can I sample you? Can I exploit you real quick?
Whoa, that's context. Okay,
Hello.
yes, give me. Lucy May. See May.
Give me one more.
That's me. It's me. It's me. See May. Oh my God. And I said it like the same way both times. I'm so boring. Oh my God.
No, you're not. It's fantastic.
But you're not boring. You guys are in for a treat. I can't wait. Rehearsals, you were lighting it up yesterday. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
You're bringing an original piece, and by original, you're creating it fully from scratch, based on the Haunting of Verdansk theme, Call of Duty. That's pretty sick. It's Halloween time.
I know. I was inspired. It's Halloween. The Haunting of Verdansk. The zombie mode's like my favorite thing right now. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I'm surprised we haven't played yet. I'm a little mad at you.
We're getting on
but
don't be mad, Blake.
But yeah, so I took that theme and I'm gonna do a little freestyle number for you guys right now.
Ooh, I can't wait. Hypes in chat right now. One more time, give it up for Blake Lewis.
Stay frosty. Stay frosty. Rock, rock, stay frosty. Stay frosty, frosty. Stay frosty, stay frosty. Stay frosty, stay frost, stay frost, Stay frosty.
You're freaking nuts! What in the world? I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I mean, while I'm jamming out, of course. But how does your mind, how are you able to keep up with all of this? You're doing, you're pushing things, you're planning your next thing, you're doing the thing from before, and then making more. How do you do that?
Well, I've been, I don't need this anymore. I've been jamming with myself for so long. It just, it kind of comes natural now that I've been doing it. I've been looping, not with necessarily these machines, but for like 20 years. So once, they all kind of have the same functionality. But yeah, keeping track of it and just jamming is like, oh, what do I want to bring in? Do I want to bring in the bass? Do I want to bring in the drums? Do I want to do some beatboxing, freestyle, scratching, do a, you know.
Lucy May.
Yeah, right? So yeah, so it's a lot, but at the same time, it comes natural, you know, so.
crikeys, man. And that's why he's mad. I hope you guys are blowing it up in chat. Come on now, give it up for Blake. Where can everyone find all of Blake Lewis music?
All my music's on the all the platforms, all the music platforms. Just look for Blake Lewis, and Instagram, Facebook is just /Blake Lewis. Check me out. Come say hi.
There's no just with you. It's the Blake Lewis.
The Blake Lewis.
The Blake Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here, Blake.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yes.
Much
One more
love
time,
to
everyone.
all the airborne. Thank you for serving, and thanks for, you know, letting me perform for you.
Yes, it was an awesome time. For you guys, halftime is over. So we're back to the war zone. Let's take a look at the current leaderboard as it stands so far. Lackland in second, and with 8 points. Nellis sitting pretty in that #1 spot, everybody, 22 points. That is quite the lead, so can they be beat? Let's find out. Up next is Davis-Monthan Air Force Base with Senior Airman Nicholas Madison, Senior Airman Devin McMullen, and Senior Airman Philip Sussman. Special guest joining Jeff to commentate is friend of the show, Hank Baskett. Some of you may remember you can catch his best Warzone running simulator from our premiere episode. I'm just kidding. He actually crushed it. But you can watch it over at youtube.com/USAF Esports. All right, well, team number 3 is getting ready to show us what they're made of. In the meantime, check out what Davis-Monthan Air Force Base is made of. Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, a part of the United States Air Force's Air Combat Command, is located in Tucson, Arizona. The base is home to the 355th Wing, responsible for training and deploying A-10C Thunderbolt II pilots. Davis-Monthan's aircraft inventory includes 84 A-10Cs, 15 EC-130H Compass Calls, 7 HC-130J Combat Kings, 15 HH-60G Pavehawks, a contingent of F-16 Fighting Falcons, and 4,000 assorted aircraft in the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group. The mission of the 355th is threefold. First, deploy, employ, support, and sustain attack air power and airmen in support of combatant commanders anywhere in the world. Second, train the finest attack pilots for the combat air forces. Third, provide every member of the Desert Lightning team with responsive, tailored, and mission-focused base support.
So I have with me here right now Nick Madison, Philip Sussman, and Devin McMullen to battle on behalf of Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Warzone. Now, back in episode 4, we got an in-depth look at their play style, their strengths, their weaknesses, of which there were a few, of the 3 wonderful airmen as individual fighters, both in multiplayer, gunfight, free-for-all, and of course, in the Warzone match. But are they going to join their respective strengths and abilities into a towering Davis-Monthan mech? It's time we found out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here with me with all of the muscles to monitor their progress in the frankest of terms is the one, the only Hank Baskett. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. Yourself?
I'm doing all right, mate. I'm doing all right. Just trying to shift a bit of that COVID weight. Do you know what I mean? Try and get down to my playing weight.
There ain't enough walking I can do during the day. COVID can keep going.
I saw you back in episode 4. I saw you doing all those steps for your Fitbit up and down that building, 16 floors of building in the war zone, weren't you?
That's called the lack of BR experience. It's been too many months. It's just been hardcore, you know, multiplayer. So then I hop on here. You called me out on it. I wasn't doing my plates. I wasn't even picking up lethals. And then I'm sitting there playing, you know, like a merry-go-round up and down the stairs chasing the guy. I was like, come on, man.
You were pretty iced out though, and you were definitely living the dream in terms of your finances, because you had about 40 grand's worth of cash, you and your teammate back in episode 4 sitting in your inventory.
Yeah, man, I felt like a cat with a little laser. I saw an enemy and I was just chasing him.
You did great. You did great. Well, now you get to have the fun job, which is what I have, of picking apart the gameplay rather than having to take part and impress people. So it's going to be easy. It's going to be lovely.
I don't know about impress. That was more of like an embarrassment. Oh man, you know what? With you especially announcing the night, I am not going to be sleeping. I'm laying in bed like, man.
Well, now you made me feel bad. I don't want to make you feel bad, dude. Unbelievable.
We got to stream together. I got to redeem myself.
We'll make it happen. We're going to make it happen 100%. We've already linked up and we're going to do that. Let's see some messages. You're going to teach me how to be better at multiplayer, and I'll teach you how to step up in the war zone. It's fun watching these boys in this lobby as well. Like, I love seeing them already doing the engagement. It's going to be interesting to see how they work together, because obviously previously in episode 4 they were individually playing one against each other to get the highest points, but with you each time. So you got to see their individual play styles. Some of them a bit more aggressive, some of them a bit more defensive. Today we get to see them together. What do you think is going to be different?
Well, they are in the military, so hopefully they can, you know, work together and understand the call-outs a little better. But yeah, whenever I played each individually, each one had a different kind of game plan, you know. And it's funny, the first match I played, we went slower, got the higher placement, got a couple kills, and that ended up being the win. Everybody else wanted to be more aggressive, and it ended up not being the winning technique.
I think that was peer pressure from me, to be honest. I gave so much stick to each of them after their defensive plays. So come on, when are you gonna get in there and get involved? And then I ended up, unfortunately, getting them killed about 46th place. But they have a chance to redeem themselves right now, and not only that, they have a chance to get those bragging rights for Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. We got Nick Madison, Philip Sussman, and Devin McMullen dropping hot in the AO right now. Where are they going to drop? Looks like over near prison, Hank.
Oh, I mean, you look at it right now. They are playing completely different than when they played with me. They're going middle of the circle. They're ready to drop in. They're going port. So it's already different from whenever I played with them.
Do you have a favorite drop spot on the Warzone map when you are playing it with friends at home?
I typically like to go hangar because it seems like most of the time it's a 50-50 shot. This is either going to be a lot drop there, or you're going to have time to get around, gear up, and then you can press airport. Then you can start making your way towards the downtown areas, where you in the promenade and things like that, where you can start gathering the kills.
Hangars also can be quite a nice little sweaty drop, so you can get some of those early engagements, get your head in the games, you know what I mean? Get used to lighting up other teams and not sitting back on your laurels, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you go airport, it's a coin flip. There could be the time where you coming down and you shooting on the way down. But right here is going to be interesting because they're in between 3 crowded zones. You got stadium, prison, and downtown. So you're going to get pushed from all sides.
Absolutely. And looking at the map there, they're clearly inside of the circle, which is great off the rip. But they did have to move a reasonable amount from the plane flight path. So hopefully it won't be too sweaty for them here. They can work together to get themselves a nice placement at the end. A couple of enemy helos moving overhead.
Give me that.
They're gonna be loading up on loot inside of that building.
Dude.
Ooh, little engagement here and an early win.
Oh, you killed him. Nice.
Lovely, a nice little kill
Where you
there.
guys at right now?
Someone tried to drop in nice and late from the sky, parachuting in.
There's
and
ramp
getting
7 here.
Taken out by that delicious shotgun to the face.
Actually,
I was shooting at the guy that was up there.
Anybody want a car?
That might have been
Love
me.
that Uzi as well.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
Absolutely shreds. Nice to be picking up a nice
I think I
blue
got
version
a
of it straight off the rip.
munitions box. I do not know.
Now, you a fan of the thermal scopes,
you
Hank,
have
or
an
do you
armor,
prefer to run with non-thermal scopes?
on the stream.
More so
Anybody want
without.
the
It was
burst?
funny, and even with the sniper rifles, I hate giving away that glare from the reticle. I like to go with the Cronin. I think it has good long-range acquisition for what it is, but I like to be able to snipe and not give away my position.
You don't want a nice little glint on the map that everyone can look at. Spot
No,
your
all you're
location
doing is
nice
saying
and-
hello.
Looks like they got lit up
They're
there.
like,
I'm not sure if
yeah.
that was a thermite that was thrown in or whether he just ran through a proximity mine of some sort. It's quite strange. I feel like he got burned by a Molotov
Here for
or a thermite grenade.
and yes, there is definitely somebody in here.
Definitely lost all of his plates.
Right down here.
Yep, and we definitely know there's some more people around
That's
there.
for you, Nick.
Absolutely. Probably the rest
we
of
have
that
enough
team
for a loadout,
that was
guys.
lit up by
Go
that
ahead.
shotgun up on the cranes
Make our way
earlier
to,
on. This actually feels like a multiplayer match. Oh, and the second one there. Little bunny hopping around the corner. He's down and he's out, but so is the other enemy's teammate. The finish is there. And it's going to be a nice little finish. That's 2 down. Now, this could be a completely different team, actually. And if it is, that would suggest there's one more in this building somewhere that they need to look for.
Yep. No, I got
Neither
it.
of them have any plates. Philip slapping a few back in. There we go. Fully plated back up.
Reloading.
That's what they're looking for. Yeah, those are both knocks and not finishes.
There's a kilo right here.
So I'm wondering if they're going to do a little bit of a recon around this building and see if they can find this third and final member of the team. Clearly not related to the player we saw earlier on. Oh, time for a little bit of graffiti in the gulag. Loaded out with the Bruin there. High shots. Absolutely shreds the opponent.
I love the Bruin.
It's absolutely magical, isn't it? I mean, like just that 100 ammo magazine just makes it so easy to shred multiple team members, of your enemies.
We're gonna grab a load.
Yeah. When you're playing BR, Plunder, something like that, them LMGs with them extended mags, it's just lethal. Even the Kilo with the 100-round mag, it just melts.
Now you're talking my language. Kilo, MP5, that's my favorite loadout. What about you? What do you normally like to run when you do play Warzone?
Well, right now, because I got the M13 to Obsidian, I'm just trying to go for the mastery on that and just get as many. And I first out, I went with the MP7. They kind of dropped that a little, so now I have I like running with the MP5.
There's no better gun, I think, in those close-up engagements. You know, it absolutely destroyed. And as long as you keep that reticle pointed nice and high on those heads, you really can destroy a team in such a short period of time. Right, they got themselves an armor box. They got themselves a loadout, grabbing themselves some decent weapons. Opting for the AMAX there, thinking about it at least.
There's no one
Or
around
perhaps
us
the Fennec.
unless they have ghosts. There's a whole team right there.
A little bit of lag going on there.
Let's
give my screen a quick refresh.
I don't have heartbeat. I forgot to modify this class on multiplayer. All right.
So finally, this is the first time I think any of these boys, if I'm remembering back to episode 4, none of these 3 lads actually managed to buy themselves loadouts in their Warzone matches when they were playing with you.
Hey,
Dropped a little ping on the map there. They can see at least 2 on the map. I think that might be the remaining 2 from that teammate they lit up earlier on. Seems pretty likely at this point. All 3 pursuing rapidly. But Philip is way out in front here, showing off
we won't worry about that right
just
now.
how fast he can run with that M13.
Someone dropping in.
Where?
I don't know. I just heard the audio.
Someone dropped on that building where their mark is. Hopefully one of the boys with the sniper rifle pick them off.
Guess so.
Absolutely. Alternatively, they might just keep pushing aggressively towards Big Blue, hoping they can light up those other 2 players. But like I say, Phil, if he keeps pushing this aggressively without his teammates anywhere near him, he will lose that fight.
I don't have heartbeat, so you guys are gonna have to.
We know there's multiple footsteps.
Hearing footsteps above. This is definitely where they've
crouch
ended
walk,
up.
Crouch walk right here in the building.
Question is, are they aware of Phil
so far.
directly underneath them? 19.7 meters up top, probably on top of Big Blue. They definitely want to get inside there sooner rather than later, otherwise they'll get picked off from the roof.
Yep, they're both in the middle now.
Going for the stealthy option.
Oh, I hear him.
Sounds like they're upstairs fighting someone already, so there's multiple teams here. So it could be 6 players, or we know we're seeing 2 at least.
Oh, and there we go, a nice little down and a finish
GG. Nice job.
for Devin, aka Mystery.
Hey, no cursing.
That'll go on to their final score count. He's got 3 racked up right now.
Yeah, good stuff.
And all of those points
shots
matter, ladies and gentlemen, in this final showdown of Command Clash.
Yeah, I hear it that way.
Really close still. That's still really close.
I hear it that way. That way.
It's those buildings over there, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
Let's,
push those and try to get
yeah,
kills?
let's push.
Pushing now towards the sound of that gunfire.
I got 1 kill so far.
I have
Heading
a portable
over
cover, so if we need to
towards
get
the
some help,
land
I can place that
between
down.
the port
Alright, I got trophies,
and
so
the
if we need to
prison.
take a vehicle
This is
anywhere
big
later.
open land here, Hank. It worries me seeing these boys running across in the open like this.
Be careful, there might be somebody.
Oh yeah, no room for cover right here, and you know you got some people behind you.
Oh,
I
they're on
don't
top
think
of
they
the
finished with
silo.
both those teams off, so you can get pinched.
Okay.
I got someone 49.
Absolutely.
in front of
That's
me.
the last thing they want to happen to them right now. High kills are the stakes right now. Seem to have got eyes on a sniper sitting on top of the water tower. Couple of nice quick scopes from Devin. Doesn't find his mark, unfortunately.
Right here, right here.
Guy right in front.
Good to see them plating up now regularly, as it should be. Ooh, a nice crack
Where the other guy
there
went?
from Philip.
No.
Right here behind us.
And one of the teammates of that water tower
Yep, 2 of them.
sniper.
There's 2 in that building.
They're definitely working more in unison right now.
Absolutely. I think your earlier comment about the fact that them being in the military professionally and being able to, utilize good comms and a good understanding of teamwork. Sees through the window, gets a shot on him, doesn't get the crack, but does get a little bit of damage on those armor plates to that player upstairs.
Where? What side?
Phil sits in the downstairs. He's going to be pushing the stairs aggressively. Should at least keep his eyes on it, and that's why. Gets popped in the back of the head.
Here, you're not going to die.
Ayub is down and out, ladies and gentlemen.
Right side.
One down. It's going to be a 1v1 situation here. Can he get the finish? He
Right.
does get the finish. It's a team wipe. He needs to get that revive early.
Oh, that was a hip fire shot. Oh my god.
Two of them back up.
Good.
Oh.
Get whatever we can and just
Ayub
leave.
down in the gulag. Can he get back to his team? Yes, he can. Get out of my lobby, he says. And he'll be rejoining his teammates, loading back into the war zone, dropping hot into dance, and hopefully picking up exactly where he left off.
There's a lot of
You know what I'm a little sad about? I am definitely the weakest link out of these three because look how these boys are playing together.
That is not true, Hank. You were always running in duos. There's a big difference between trios and duos, first of all. A couple of loadouts over here on the generic loadouts that come down.
To be honest with you.
I wouldn't take that long. Look at him just taking his time. Oof. I'll tell you what, I think it takes me approximately 0.5 to 1.5 seconds to get my loadout every time I go there because I'm so used to being shot by people camping them.
Yep.
How much money do I got? Hey,
You gotta know.
Bill,
You gotta be comfortable with it. Know what you're running with. Know what you're going against so far.
Let's move.
You gotta understand where you drop that load off is also in. You know, you gotta think of where you're at on the map.
I got you.
Hands over his money. Seems like some kind of robbery situation here. Give me your cash.
Got one that tried to land on loadout.
Whilst Devin just sits back and lights up another man.
There you go. There's 5,500 for you.
Making it.
Come on, grab it. Let's go.
6 kills he's racked up so far, I believe.
Yep.
Here.
We got 2 here for Phil as well. Good points already on the scoreboard.
How are you hitting the shop, dude?
Dropping the armor. They listen to you about making sure that armor.
And I also like to see that good camaraderie as well. It's so important, especially in games like this, when you're running as a team, to work as a team. And that does mean noticing when your other teammates are a plate down. You know, asking them, do you need a spare plate? I've got a couple spare. Let me drop you one. That can mean the difference.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, that can be the difference between winning or losing an engagement with another squad.
Exactly. And I think that's what kind of, in the beginning with the VR, when I kind of got off, is sometimes trying to get together and pull together that full squad. It's that can be tough. And when you're playing with people without mics or people that you've never played against, you have no cohesion with, it's tough.
Absolutely. Synergy is what we're looking for. And it must be the same for you, you know, when you're playing professionally as an NFL player, that you would work with your team to really have a good understanding of what each other thinks, how you move, what your general normalized play styles are, and utilizing each other's strengths. Am I right?
You gotta have that. You gotta have that feel. Quarterback and a receiver, you know, that quarterback has to know how you come out of your routes to put the ball there. You have to know how that quarterback throws, that when you come out of that route, that ball's coming at you. And you look at all the top esports orgs, there's a reason why these guys spend countless hours running together. They know he runs shotguns, you got the close quarters guys, you got the snipers guys, and you got the, you know, the more grunts with the assault rifles. So you got to develop that chemistry.
Absolutely, yes. Synergy between the team is everything and is absolutely key. I have my own elite squad that I run with on my streams on facebook.gg/Jeff Leach Comedian. Nice little plug. Always got to get that.
I like that. Got you.
Sneaky, do you like that?
Hey,
and then I do play. I also do play with the fans about 5 days a week, and it is different every single time. Some people just get each other way better. Right, sends a thermite grenade through that window. Unfortunately, one of the teammates is down. That'll be Devin, who's been popped from above. They notice with their UAV, at least one player in the roof here. I would be pushing up and trying to get that knock.
Nope, I saw a glimmer about to the 60. There's a glimmer in a window over there. Yep, there's that guy.
There we go, trying to get the crack. Well, he's got crack. It doesn't get the down, unfortunately. And there is another player behind. And that player behind will have taken out Mystery, aka Devin. Phil is down and is headed off to the gulag as well.
All right, Phil,
And
go
just
get
Ayub now.
Go get Misty back.
Okay.
So
oh no, I'm completely incorrect. My apologies. Devin was who was taken out there, so he will be waiting for a cheeky little revive, which will be coming immediately. They've got so much cash in the bank. Thank goodness for that. Phil
At least they
barely got out alive from that engagement. Speaking of engagements, another one here. Another team has pushed them aggressively. They got one down.
Another.
Nice.
Kill confirmed.
Another one around the corner.
Me.
I have nothing right now.
Oh.
1 for 1 there. Phil will be headed off to the gulag. As Buya history. Trying to get these final knocks. He gets the crack, but he can't get the knock. He is one shot. Is he going to tell his teammate to push aggressively? I think so.
Oh, I got good luck.
Don't give him time to play up. And this is where the knowledge of Warzone comes in handy. That would have been the perfect time to hop through that window, get that one shot, and get that down, an eventual kill that could have been a full team wipe. Instead, he's going to camp it and hope he can do the same there. He gets the crack, but he's got the crack. The guy's going to be playing up. This is when you should be pushing right now. Instead, he's going to play rather defensively, hold out for his teammates. He's looking for that high finish. They are currently placed 20th overall. And he's going to see if Devin can come back from the gulag. Sorry, Philip can come back from the gulag. And yes, he will. Absolute precision. Loving it.
You talk about that chemistry. Actually, the person I have the most chemistry with now is my son. And he's 10.5, but you should just see that boy go.
I tell you what, I bet he's better than both of us combined, mate. Kids these days, their hand-eye coordination, the reflex speed, it's just next level, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's he can't get me a multiplayer now. He keeps trying. Him and his little boys keep trying. But when it comes to Warzone, I mean, I just sometimes sit there in awe, and I'm like, how?
Yeah,
and it's just crazy. I'm getting old.
You know what? You always crazy. It's not even about getting old, my man. It's really building. Look, in the same way that I'm sure when you were running in the NFL, you were in peak physical condition at all times. You know that if tomorrow you decided to get back out there, get back into that kind of level of training, you could get the muscle memory that would give you the body to be able to achieve things that you didn't even think were possible for yourself right now. But it's exactly the same in Warzone as well. You keep running the same movements, you keep doing the same thing, keep trying to improve on the mistakes you made in the previous game, and eventually it all becomes second nature. It's crazy how you will think 5 or 6 stages ahead. Like, where would that player go? Well, if it was me, they would have jumped through that window, so I'm going to push around this side of the building, throw a C4 out ahead of me because I'm pretty sure they're going to be on that corner, etc., etc., etc.
That's what it is. It's all about that muscle memory and repetition. And I called it earlier. He's been trying to join the party ever since we started. And I've had to tell him. Actually, I should have let him play when we were going Warzone. I should have let him play instead of me. He's going to
get to play with his dad and with Ghost soon. Enough. Anyway, we'll team up with your son and we'll make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, because I'm always impressed by how professional athletes like yourself, who've been in the game and played to such a high level, for their state, for their country. It's ridiculous to me to understand what level of dedication and training you must have gone through to be able to do that kind of thing. But I'm always impressed, first of all, with the respect that professional athletes seem to have for the esports community. Like, you guys genuinely respect what these players do. Am I right?
Enough to buy a UAV.
Oh, definitely. When I was early to the game, this will be my 10th season out, and I was fortunate. Right when I got out, I became good friends with Hector when he was the original owner of Optic, and then Mike Rafael, Shibby, and a lot of the guys I met at MLG, Sundance, all those guys. And I was very lucky, and they started showing me the way because I was the guy that we'd go on a road trip, and I'd have my Xbox wrapped up in my sweats and hook it up at every hotel we went to.
Love it.
We're gamers, man. That's what we do, and you're starting to see it more now because it's easier to share with social media, etc.
Absolutely, good way to build the fan base out, and I'm sure for a lot of the lads in the NFL right now as well, it's not just about being an incredible athlete. It's about all those brand deals. It's about the exposure. It's about the fan base, and it's about the career that will extend beyond the playing career.
That's why I preached all of them. I was like, I wish Twitch and YouTube gaming, Facebook gaming, all that Mixer, and no, that's not around no more. I wish all that was around though whenever I was playing, because it's a way to develop your fan base.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you got it now, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more people tuning in after your amazing endeavors in the Command Clash, both today and in episode 4. Right, so these boys seem to be having a bit of a standoff with a team over from the southeast of them who seem to have pushed either across from the prison or just
back here, drop me
gatekeeping them to
200
try and hold them out of the
500
circle.
money so I can get
That circle won't be moving for another 10 seconds, but it will be moving in pretty quick. And they are going to have to find themselves on the receiving end of another altercation between that team southeast of them. UAVs and plates. That's what I need. UAVs and plates, baby.
Here's the question. With the way that circle's designed, is that team pushing them or pushing for the high ground?
So the gas is going to be pushing them from behind, and probably the team that is already in the circle are going to be trying to gatekeep them and keep them out of it. They have a team to their right behind, southeast from them. They're not going to be engaging with those. Unfortunately, as you can see here, as soon as they got out into the open, eyes were on them, shots were fired, and unfortunately, Boob is now out of the game until he can be revived by his teammates. They do have the money to be able to do that. They really just got to focus on getting into the circle and finding some kind of defensible position here. That wall looks pretty nice. They spotted the sniper up on the hillside who seems to be taking them out. I want to return fire. Oof! A nice shot. A nice hit. Unfortunately, it wasn't a crack or a down. Got to get those those headshots if you want to be able to take that sniper out. And peeking constantly through the same window, also not a great look. If he's already lined up a shot on him. Another nice hit there. Devin, as we know, has proven to have really good sniping skills, not just in the Warzone matches, but also in multiplayer. Just amazing quickscope sniping. So hopefully they'll be able to put that to good use right now. Seems they've taken themselves out of that interaction there, deciding to pull back, find a more defensible position. 11 squads only left in this Warzone match. Points are racking up as we speak, even if they're not getting more kills. And plenty of kills already on the scoreboard. How do you fancy their chances at this point, Hank? Because it seems like they're doing pretty well.
Trying to hide in that little shed.
They're definitely doing pretty well, but I think right now it's kind of getting erratic. I don't know what there's this next circle placement. Oh, they are lucky.
That was delicious when it literally, as you said it, where's this next circle going to be? This is going to be the difference for them. And it really is. They have a lovely circle here. Don't need to move out of this building. They can sit in the bottom corner of it. As you can see there on the mini-map, top left. And actually a pretty nice defensible position depending on where the circle moves from here. Pretty certain that there's other players inside this building. At this point, is it just a camp and hold out and pray for a higher finish? Or do they push aggressively and try and take out this team? Looks like they're going to be pushing up the stairs. Pushing up the first floor stairwell. Don't see anyone there.
Let's just push up.
Pushing up to the second floor.
As hard as we can.
Remember, they are a man down right now.
That's a lot of rooms to cover.
Just be careful up there.
Indeed it is.
I don't know about being on the roof. That's a good thing right now.
I don't see anything.
They'll definitely make them a little bit of a target. I think there's going to be a few snipers tracked on that position. They can't forget about the snipers on the hillside, the mountainside to their right.
Oh God.
Good to see Devin keeping some cover, but as you can see, getting lit up. There you go. And that's exactly as I called it. You beat too long, you will get lit up.
Let's go, because they're going to push.
He's going for the revive. Puts himself out in the open. This is so dangerous. And manages to get it off. Thank goodness for that.
No, don't leave that building. No.
I just saw somebody.
I actually think that was the right decision there. I think Hank, by moving, but they already had people with their targets, with their scopes logged in on them. So by moving and repositioning and maybe rotating around on that circle a little bit, they're going to be able to make sure they've got no one on their six. Grab that armor box. That's a lovely little addition. Delicious.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm not.
And maybe even get the revive. I keep reaching for my M key because I want to pull up my map so I can see where the nearest revive station is. And then I forget that I'm not in game. There you go. They're watching a couple of people engaging over there. Two teams going head to head with one another. They're pushing down the hillside. They have been spotted. They're in the gas. That was a terrible idea to light people up whilst you're still in the gas. It gives away your position and doesn't mean that you have any safety either on your six or out in front of you. Plus taking damage all the while from the gas. I think they just got lucky here that team didn't seem to be sweaty enough to light them up. One of them is down there. Sniper sitting at the top of that building. If I were him, I would hit the deck, let those teams light each other up and get your guy out. There we go. That's the way to do it. Right, you can see that gas is lingering so close to them now. Good teamwork. I mean, actually a clutch play there by Devin. And he gets another finish as well. That's 8 kills. Clearly one of those players got popped by the gas.
I gotta run, dude.
Those snipers have them pegged down over there, pinned from that building. Wait it out, wait it out. Let more players die, let more teams kill each other and push you up in the rankings. They are in 7th place right now. That is a decent amount of points. He could just hold out here for another 5 seconds until that gas comes in. He goes back for the money.
Where they at?
And the plates. Thank you very much. I'll be taking that. This is the issue with that LMG as well. Running with an LMG, a Bruin, any of those bigger guns, it makes you so slow. And this is why for a pusher class, an SMG is so integral to your movement. I want to see that slide, cancel, double tap, run, holding onto an SMG. You can move almost double the pace, it feels like, of players with a giant gun like that. Add to that the ridiculously slow reload as well and ADS speed. It's not great.
He got to get, no, finally, he's on this side of the road. He was running on the other side. He knows he's going to get popped off.
I don't want to like be crouched.
I think they've done very well so far, like you say, Hank, and actually ended up in a really lovely position on these final circles. He's got a level 2 threat on him, which means the team is going to be pushing him. At this point, it's anyone's game. 4 teams still up in the Warzone match. Who knows? He could even go the full way here and take the dub for the airbase, racking them up some disgustingly good points.
I do not think the team is behind him. It's going to be that way because he knows those snipers. Remember, those snipers are still up there.
Well, 7 players still in the game, 4 teams, which means you got at least 1 solo, which will be our team that we're watching right now. And then 6 players spread between those remaining 3 teams, which means 2-player team. And he's down and out, ladies and gentlemen. But a very respectable 3rd place finish there. Played nice, played defensively in those final circles. Some good revives of his teammate. And those are going to be some great points, plus a total of 16 points for the kills alone. That has got to be one of the strongest we've seen so far, ladies and gentlemen. Will it be enough to take the win in Command Clash? Only time will tell.
3rd place is really good.
Watch the rest of these Warzone matches. Lads, GG's, first of all. 3rd place and 16 kills. That was immense. Did that go exactly the way you wanted it to? I would feel at this stage that it probably did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely went the exact direction we wanted to. Top 5.
Absolutely beautiful work. Now, we were talking with Hank earlier on. Hank Baskett was saying that you guys seem to have wonderful synergy, maybe because of your military training. Do you think that your time in the military has given you the ability to work comms with one another, even if you don't know each other or play together regularly?
Oh,
I definitely
absolutely.
think, yeah, I definitely think that comes into place.
Even if it's not like in the field type stuff like this, which, you know, most of us don't really do. If like, let's say I'm on the plane, we land and there's an emergency, or like, I gotta tell like someone like Devin, you know, comes in and goes, what's wrong? I gotta tell him exactly what he needs to do and what needs to be fixed and what's wrong with the plane in as short amount of time as possible.
Well, speaking of Devin, obviously the MVP of the squad there, Devin, you took 8 kills, which was an immense amount for any Warzone game, let alone in a competition like this when the kills are points. You're a bit of a laser beam. How often do you play Warzone? Is this a mode that you've delved into often?
I like to play every now and again, basically whenever I get the chance. Most of the time I usually just jump into a multiplayer game, but yeah, I like to play every now and again with some people in the same shop as me as well.
And it seemed like you were pinned down on that final couple of circles. You managed to stay alive, which I was very impressed by. That team that were pushing you from the left-hand side as the gas was at your 6, pushing you further into the circle, they didn't return fire very much at all, which allowed you to get behind that loadout crate. Unfortunately, then I think Philip was popped at the end there, and Devin, you managed to res him a couple of times and get across to some safe ground. What were you thinking during that part when you had those 2 snipers glaring at you behind that loadout crate?
I guess just mainly try to get out there as quickly and safely as possible. But in the end, it didn't really work out too well. It worked out better than I thought it would. But yeah,
well, I mean, you went from 7th place. You were in 7th place at that point. There were still another 6 teams alive, and you managed to get yourself into 3rd place, which I think it worked out pretty well for you, man. You're being very humble, as is the way with all heroes, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of heroes, all 3 of them are my kings of chaos. It's time to tally up the carnage and see exactly how well you stack up against the other teams in Command Clash. So thank you very much to all of our airmen for their valiant efforts today, and of course, our friend Hank Baskett for being an absolute legend and keeping us all in line. Back to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Jeff. We have a new leader on the board, ladies and gentlemen. What a bunch of fraggers these guys are. 3rd place and 16 kills. That gives Davis-Monthan Air Force Base a grand total of 33 points and the lead. GG, well played to these guys. Finally, Nellis got beat and Davis-Monthan Air Force Base will sit in that #1 spot. So can Joint Base Langley Eustis do better? Let's find out right now with Senior Airman Jeffrey Craig, Airman First Class Nathaniel Stoddard, and Airman First Class Miguel Holloway. And to close out the show, we needed 2 special guests to join Jeff on the caster mic. They are former NFL players and current esports enthusiasts, the brothers Brock and Shane Vereen. But before we dive in, here's more on our final installation, Joint Base Langley Eustis. The 633rd Air Base Wing is comprised of 3 groups that provide installation support to more than 9,000 military and civilian personnel. The wings provide mission-ready airmen to combatant commanders in support of joint and combined operations worldwide. January 7th, 2010 marked the activation of the 633rd Air Base Wing as new host unit for Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, and the first step toward Joint Base Langley Eustis.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have here with me Miguel Holloway, Nathaniel Stoddard, and Jeffrey Craig to battle on behalf of Langley Air Force Base in the war zone. Now, back in episode 5, we got a good look at their skill sets. All of them powerful players, absolute laser beams. There were successes, there were, of course, failures, especially with those final circle placements. But have they put all that intel to good use, ready to push them up the points ladder in Command Clash today? It's time we found out, chat. So, Airmen, grab your loadout, get down to the drop plane, because things are about to get very sweaty. Ghost out. And here with me to monitor their progress are the handsome double acts that are Shane and Brock Vereen. Gentlemen, are you ready to shoutcast this match with me and pick apart these boys' plays?
Oh, I love it. Can't wait.
Now, I remember back in the episode where you appeared together, you were playing on opposite teams, back and forth, including, of course, casting those Warzone matches with me as each other brother played with one of those airmen. And finally, today, you're going to be shoutcasting with me together. There was a lot of smack talk back in that episode between the two of you about each other's abilities. Is now the time to clear that up. Who is the best Warzone player out of the two of you?
Well, if you look at the scoreboard, there's 0 kills between the 2 of us, so I think we're in tie for last place right now.
So the fact that neither of you got any kills when you were supporting the Airmen in your Warzone matches means you're as noob as each other, maybe, would be a nice way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the biggest thing. I didn't care if, I mean, I was hoping that my teammates would have won, but the fact that I didn't get any kills in 2 Warzone matches, that's just debilitating.
It was painful. But Brock, actually, your teammate, who I believe was Miguel Holloway, you were teamed up with in that second Warzone match back in episode 5, you ended up actually getting the highest score with him. So you did give, I mean, if anyone's a winner out of the 2 of you, I don't want to cause a family rift. I'm just saying, like.
I will happily take it. I was there for moral support. It's a mental game as much as a physical one, and clearly I did my part on that aspect.
Look how serious Shane has got now. All the joy gone from his face. Oh, boys, we're going to have fun today. So hopefully these 3 are currently loading into a match. Remember, they're not just playing now for their own personal abilities to brag on base. They're playing for Langley Air Force Base, trying to dominate against all of these other wonderful air base and airmen who are going head-to-head today in Command Clash. So let's have a look. Let's see if they're ready to fire into the war zone, and let's see how they get on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Langley Air Force Base. 3 very exceptional players in their individual rights. Miguel Holloway, Nathaniel Stoddard, and Jeffrey Craig. Remember, Jeffrey absolutely dominating in those multiplayer matches back in episode 5. An absolute laser beam, racking up 30, 40 kills per match on those free-for-alls and those 2v2 gunfights. He absolutely dominated there. Miguel Holloway showing himself to be the best player in the war zone. with his kills and that final 10th placement. And then Nathaniel Stoddard, also a laser beam, getting the most kills out of the team. Looks like these boys are going to be going full sweat, lads. Straight off the rip into Stadium. Brock, is that what you would have done?
Well, this is where me and Miguel landed, and he always says if Superstore's too crowded or too far away, this is where we're gonna land. It seems like Miguel's taking charge here because this is the exact same spot, and he was first place, so maybe he assumes role of team captain.
Absolutely. I mean, Shane, it could be a case that maybe, you know, because in the military, you know, obviously these airmen will be very good at taking orders, following a squad leader. By seeing Miguel dominate back in episode 5 in Warzone, they've said, right, Miguel, over to you. You lead us on this one. Do you think that's the case?
I think so. A lot of humility between 3 very, very good players. I mean, we had the privilege in episode 5 to play against them in multiple different formats, and including Warzone. I was teammates with a couple of them, and these are 3 of the most impressive Call of Duty players that I've had the pleasure of playing with and against. So,
speaking of which, there's a nice little down there and a finish. They've already got 2 kills there, racked up. That'll be our boy Jeffrey Craig, actually, who's got those 2 kills. The sniper comes out now for Miguel Holloway. He's going to be looking for those snipe kills, which he put to great use as well when you were on those roofs back in episode 5.
There was a guy over here, so careful.
Absolutely. He was taking me from rooftop to rooftop, giving me the grand tour of downtown Verdansk. But you know what? He was in his element. And at the end of the day, when you're that good with a sniper, stay in your element. I'll figure it out.
I actually also find that, I mean, look, these boys are going to be running trios. Back in episode 5, you guys were all running as duo teams because they were going head-to-head with each other to see who could get the bragging rights for Langley Air Base to be the crowned champion of the Warzone in their internal battle. But now they're going head-to-head against other air bases to prove their prowess. I do feel as if these guys are going to be working much more tightly, much more synergy between the 3 of them, keeping on each other's 6s very close, which seems to be the case right now.
Oh, certainly.
They are working. They are working very well together so far.
And I mean, yeah, from a communication standpoint, I can't imagine how easy it would be for them to talk to one another with all their lingo that no one else in the world understands except for them. I'd imagine that I'd imagine they are firing on all cylinders right now.
Well, speaking of firing on all cylinders, he gets eyes with that sniper on that bounty target, pops off a shot, gets 1 hit in, but unfortunately can't find the crack or the down. And his teammates are close on his 6. I wonder if they're going to start pushing aggressively up the hill. Here's the other thing as well. When they're playing in those duo matches, it's so much harder to play solos and duos and get those dubs, get those high placements, because once you're out, you're out. Whereas with trios, with quads, I do think it's a bit easier to stay in the game for a longer period of time, especially if you have good support teammates with you.
Certainly.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, as dumb as it kind of sounds, duos is way more like solos than trios, which maybe is an obvious thing to say, but it is absolutely a solo mindset and strategy.
You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, 2 members of the team are down right now, so it looks like Miguel is going to be pulling back and trying to find a slightly better placement if he can get a crack on at least one of those players. Yes, he does manage to crack one of them and get a couple of shots off on the other, but there's no downs there. He really needs to get one of those players down. He's pinned in now on this tree. This could be a very rapid send to the ghoulie. Both of his teammates still up, but unfortunately both knocked. And he still doesn't have either of those 2 players down. Manages to grab a plate, tries to pull back, and down he'll go. See, got outnumbered there. 2 guns against 1. You're always going to lose that fight, especially with just a tree for cover. So down to the gulag they go. Now, this is where these boys should really dominate. All 3 of them showed their prowess in the ghoulie. They are multiplayer players, predominantly. And I really do think multiplayer pros find the gulag so much easier than obviously people who play Warzone. And there's the proof in the pudding.
There it is.
One of them will be loading back in. Throwing knife, takes out a bit of that masonry work. Sees the player to his right, doesn't find any shots there. Ooh! That player knows where he is, and he will be down. So only 1 Dropping back in the AO right now. Let's see if the third and final teammate from Langley Air Base can get himself back in the running. Keeps his sights trained on that right-hand side. Hasn't looked over to the left too much. A little back and forth, throws a smoke out. Wants to try and find a better placement with clearer eyes on that central map. And he will get the finish there. So 2 loading back into Verdansk. I'm assuming right now, Brock, I'm assuming right now they're probably going to be trying to get some cash together and get their third back up as soon as possible.
Money, money, money. Find it as quickly as you can. You know, normally when you have me or Shane as your partner, getting us back isn't really a priority. Get us back when you get the opportunity to. But when you're playing with guys this good, the name of the game is getting your guy back, because every single person can contribute when all 3 guys are this good.
Well, they've actually grabbed themselves a little supply run there, a supply run operation. So if they can find themselves a vehicle or even maneuver on foot as rapidly as possible to the buy station, I'm actually thinking what's going to be happening is FPS Rookie is going to stay high in the sky, take his parachute over to that revive station and get that free revive straight off the bat after his teammate has picked up the supply run. It's a great play. MLG strats here. 200 gamer IQ. Unfortunately, the team is now split and vulnerable if they come across any full squads of 3.
Guy right there.
That's the risk that you run. It is a great strategy if you're not willing to pick up the most wanted. But guys this good, I would trust any one of these 3 on their own for 2 or 3 minutes until the team gets to them.
Dropping some good pings there. You can see 2 players lingering near to that buy station. Now, that's not the buy station they actually need to utilize to get their teammate back for free. He pops that dead silence to get that speedy run. I think he's actually going to be pushing aggressively to try and get some kills. Drops a proximity mine near to that vehicle, hoping that if they hop into that ATV, they will get taken out. Manages to down one over here, behind the haystack. Looks for the second, cracks him up top. Doesn't get the down on the second player. Hasn't got the finish on the first. And now he does. Rectifies that situation. Back up in the top window, gets a second down. He's got his teammate with him right now. But they are being thirsted by the third and final member of that trio squad there. Pushes upstairs, gets the finish. Another point in the bank. That's 5 kills right now for Jeffrey Craig.
No.
And I believe a couple of kills for his other teammates as well. They've already racked up a reasonably impressive score so far.
Let's go load out.
Absolutely, and the one player that they're missing out of this trio is the one who won the Warzone tournament in episode 5. So imagine what they're going to be doing once they get him back, once they get Miguel back.
Hops in his vehicle there. They're going to try and do that right now, I think. Grab this loadout, maybe head over towards the port, get some more money, and get themselves some different points. But no, they have to pull away very rapidly because there were other players on that second plate. In fact, one of them has been knocked. Can he get the finish? Gets the crack. He just needs one more shot. Woo! And there's the down, ladies and gentlemen. And there's the crack. Can he get the second down? Pulls back slightly, reloads, and will plate up and retreat. This is a tactical retreat to ensure that he doesn't get knocked out of the running. Remember, they have all been down to the gulag. The last thing they want right now is to be sent home in 32nd place amongst these trio listings for this Warzone match.
You'll res him immediately. You dropped
Picks up that CDL Champs 2020 HDR. An absolute laser beam. He's got enough cash to get a revive. Manages to pop that off nice and quickly.
Can you get a supply run near you? Is that possible?
2 players back in the running.
You see one? No,
I'll check.
FPS Rook is going to be looking for his revive soon enough as well.
Be careful because prison has
looks around the map to see what might be a good idea. At this point, I mean, going to that loadout, back to that loadout would probably be a little bit of a bad option, don't you think, lads?
I think it's been kind of pretty risky.
Death wish.
A beautiful snipe there. Manages to get at least one hit. Unfortunately, it's not the down. It's not a full crack. He's got eyes on the loadout. I think he might actually be trying to give some comms to his teammate to let him know whether that loadout is safe to go and pick up weapons right now or whether it's being camped out. And camped out it is. We can see a foot there Tries to take a little shot, just misses his pinky toe.
A little bit more to
This
the
little
right,
piggy
you
went to
have.
market. This little piggy avoided getting knocked. That little piggy
He's getting shot
has
from
got his teammate inside the building with him, line him up. A good evasion there. Moves around the outside. He has only one plate in his inventory, two plates there, and he's lit up from the behind, and he's going to be down and out. Fortunately, he did get the revive on. He still has a teammate up, and that teammate gets a lovely down there. Get the finish, get the points.
No, not
good
you,
work.
him.
And now some rotation is needed to ensure that he doesn't get lit by the rest of that player's team and taking out the running as well. He doesn't have his loadout, only ground loot.
Your circle-wise, you're good.
What would you be doing in this situation right now, Shane? How would you be playing this? Would you stay upstairs there?
Yeah, I would be doing exactly this, setting some claymores, setting some mines, setting some traps, and trying to bring the action to me instead of, you know, staying in the house. Bring the action to me instead of going out and taking the risky moves.
And that's the reason why he saw that player directly outside, hops back in that vehicle, tries to reverse over him for the memes, goes back through the vehicle, doesn't find what he's looking for. Will get the knot there, will get the finish before that player can pull around the corner, and gets another down there. Double kill, team wipe. Yes, please. That's the sweat we were looking for from Miguel. And he has come out and fighting for set, ladies and gentlemen. 3 kills. Absolutely disgusting.
Good try, dude.
This is why it was so important to get him back. Because look at this.
Hey, for the first time.
We spoke a little bit too soon there, boys. 25th place. Jinxed it. However, having said that, even not with a great final placement, they have got a total of 9 kills between the 3 of them. That's 9 points up on the leaderboard. And we'll have to find out if that's going to be enough to carry them to a decent position in the final scoring of Command Clash. Lads, whew, absolutely sweaty in there. Was that you, Miguel, in that final engagement?
I tried to get jiggy with it. It didn't work out too well. But...
I mean, you definitely got jiggy with it. And then I think too much jig was in your step and you decided to hop out that window, leaving yourself vulnerable to be lit up on the way down. Yeah. And unfortunately, that was the wrong push. But boys, an impressive 9 kills between the 3 of you. That's a solid score. Unfortunately, the thirst, the ferocity, the ferocity of your plays means that you wouldn't have got a decent final placement, 25th place. What would you have done differently there, Miguel, in that final engagement?
The final engagement, I probably would have taken my time a little bit more. I heard one coming up to the building, and I didn't realize that he probably had a team watching him, which is not what I would have expected. I would have expected more of a full team to stick together in that point in time. But I thought
especially after you got that team wipe, that double kill and that team wipe in the top of that building, I thought, okay, if he hears footsteps of another player, he's going to know this could be an entirely fresh trio squad here.
Yeah, I figured it was a new team. I thought they would be more together or more coming in at the same time. But with the 1v3 or anytime you're fighting a team and you're outnumbered, you gotta get an early knock in order to fight the rest of the team. So I took a risk and it didn't pan out, but it is what it is.
You know what though? The synergy was great between you guys up until that point. And Jeff, you came through with another 5 kills in that game, asserting your dominance once again. They call him the babyface killer. This is going to be your nickname now at Langley Air Base for the rest of your life. You realize that? The babyface killer.
I didn't get it enough, you know, as is, but I will definitely get it more now.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, dude, I mean, you put in an impressive performance. You got 5 kills up on the leaderboard there, brought some good points home for Langley Air Force Base. Were you pleased with your performance overall?
Towards the beginning I was, and then about halfway through, as soon as I got in that car, that's when I just went downhill, was how I felt. I let Nathaniel get down from the car because the car was loud and I couldn't hear them, and I thought they said go to the loadout, but they were saying don't go to the loadout, so then I just drove away, but he got down. It was just an unfortunate series of events at that point.
And Nathaniel, you got ushered to your death there. Jeffrey literally took you over to the loadout, dropped you off for those boys to light up. How much did you want to throw your controller through your monitor screen at that point?
A lot. If I wasn't so poor, I probably would have done it.
Can we buy this man a spare controller? He needs to be able to rage. He needs to be able to rage.
I need it.
But how was it playing with the 2 lads? Because obviously back in episode 5, you guys were working against each other, playing against each other, trying to get high scores. How was it playing as a trio together for the first time?
I think it was really good. We had some good communication from the start, and like I was telling them when we were in there, it was just a lot of good plays, but at the wrong time is what I was saying. So it's like, you know, like pushing that first team at the start, it was a good idea in the heat of the moment, but then like not really knowing exactly where they all were, and then also us trying to play as a team and not solo. It was kind of like hard because like Jeffrey got down and I was trying to cover him so he didn't get thirsted so I could res him, and then I ended up getting down, and then Miguel was pretty far back, so it was kind of like a race to try to crawl as fast as we could to him to try to get res, and exactly, and they ended up just pushing at the right time and thirsting all of us.
Well, lads, look, individually, 3 incredibly talented players. Collectively, still gave it a great effort. It was a literal blast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to all of our airmen for their valiant efforts today. And of course, our very special guests, those delicious brothers I'm delighted to call new friends of mine, Shane and Brock Vereen. Thank you so much, lads. Appreciate you. I can hear you in the background there.
Thank you. Thank you.
There they are.
Second of it. This is great.
Thank you, lads. Absolute legends. And handing back now to a woman who could command an army of simps with just a smile. It's Lisa Malambri.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. Goodness, you know, with that fight, it was looking hot for a second. I mean, we had 9 kills, but unfortunately, out at 25th place. That's 9 points for joint base Langley Eustis, which brings them into 3rd place, barely squeaking ahead of Lackland Air Force Base, whom have 8 points, which moves them down into 4th place. AKA on this leaderboard, last place. Womp womp. Nameless stays in 2nd with their 22 points, but they got beat way out in the lead with 33 points. Give it up for your champions of the 1st U.S. Air Force Command Clash, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Everybody hypes in chat. Let's get those airmen back in here right now one last time. Senior Airman Nicholas Madison, Senior Airman Devin McMullen, and Senior Airman Philip Sussman. Come on, guys, we need to have a chat about the work you did on the field. Where are you? I can't see you. Hello, everyone? Do we have them here? I'm just on standby.
I'm
it's
here.
fine. Okay, oh, I hear you. You are magic. So it's just me. Well, you guys, congratulations. Fantastic work. So I need to know, how does it feel? First, I've got to ask, you know, how does it feel to be the champions of the 1st Command Clash? Nicholas, let's start with you.
Oh, it feels really good. I just leaving the military, so it's pretty great to leave on a win.
Feels fantastic, man. All right. Good work. You guys were just crushing it. And you guys did such a fantastic job communicating. You know, Jeff was really complimenting you guys throughout the game. It was literally what was necessary to win. You guys were on it. You were on point. So, Devin, I want to come to you as the MVP. How'd that feel? I mean, it just kind of translated Air Force life into the war zone right now with your comrades?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, Jeff was saying, like, I was humble about stuff, so.
Okay, well, here's your moment.
I'm still the same way.
No, Devin, come on. 8 kills, you crushed it. You led your team to a victory. And though not putting your teammates down, of course, because as I said, this is a team game and you do need the support of your teammates. And you guys just said such great synergy. It was amazing. So anything, maybe say to your, be humble to your teammates. I want to hear you guys high-fiving each other. You haven't had a moment yet, perhaps.
Well, yeah, like they did an amazing job. We definitely brought it together really well with the communication and stuff.
All right. Well, then I need to know. Well, lastly, before you go, though, Devin, I'll let you go and move on. You had mentioned before to Jeff, you usually play multiplayer, and Warzone, you dabble in. You're like, I get into it every now and again, but you're MVP, and it didn't seem to really work. That recipe didn't work for some of our airmen during the series who do love playing multiplayer. How was it so successful for you?
Probably just because of my play style. I'm very much like, I don't like sitting in one spot. So moving around really helps me.
All right. I think that's the key. You kind of nailed it there. Well, I want to know who made that initial drop at port? Who called that?
I think that might have been me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
is that because of the flight path, or is that somewhere you just like to drop typically?
I've just had a bit of success myself at port, so I thought maybe I could bring it along with my teammates.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out to be in your favor. RNG was definitely favoring you guys as a zone just kept shrinking nearby, so you didn't have to take too many rotations far from port. So that was fantastic. However, you guys were just pushing. I love that. You guys were like, oh, we hear shots over here. We've got to go over there and kill them. And you pretty much, you did that. You guys were wiping enemies left and right. Well, you guys, I mean, any final words? Philip, let's just stick with you for a second. I mean, you called that port drop. You now then were the final guy at the end. You also had a bounty on your head. Let's talk about that. Well, the team that had the bounty on you knew where you were. What was going on in your head? Because you were in a great spot. You could have played that spot and probably gotten first place, but unfortunately one team knew exactly where you were. It was in the open. So what was going through your head at that time?
Well, I knew at that point that I was kind of screwed.
Oh, no.
And I'm not really great when I have bounties on my head just because I start sweating and I'm like, oh God, because I feel like they know exactly where I'm at, but when I have bounties on other people, I have no idea where they're at. So
yeah, the nature of the game. Oh man, I know, because it's that pressure, right? You can feel that ticking. Yeah. Oh gosh, but you held on pretty well there. I thought when the bounty did finally release, I was like, oh, this is his moment, he's cleared. But they actually were on the approach and found you, and you were out. But nonetheless, you guys crushed it. I loved the communication. Again, I can't speak enough about that because that is one of the things that bothers me too about finding teammates. I've heard Jeff also discussing throughout today's show, saying how you, depending on your teammates and what's going down, like you gotta really support your teammates. And so you guys were really doing that. And I loved hearing how the Air Force life did kind of translate to that, because Nicholas, you had said that you need to, in Air Force life, be able to quickly make a call if there's an emergency so you can get as much information across with as few words as quickly as possible. And that's Warzone. I love that. And you guys did that really well, and being able to stay up, and you guys are just crushing it. Do we have a sniper in the group? Like just one, or does everyone like to snipe?
I'd say Devin's our sniper.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind sniping, but
oh, now he's trying to be humble again, guys. He's saying he's not. This Devin guy, what's happening? Yeah, you're right, Devin.
Crack shot sniper.
Imagine if you would have gotten those kills on that house right there at the end on that loadout. How epic would that have been? But that, we're talking about the past here. It doesn't help anyone. But all right, well, moving on. Did you guys catch the halftime performance by chance where, Blake Lewis was here? He's doing the Haunting of Verdansk theme remixing. You guys catch that?
Yes.
Just a little bit of it.
Okay, well, you can watch it again because it's going to be back here, youtube.com/USAF Esports, so you can watch it when the VOD's live. But to that, I wanted to ask, have any of you played the new zombie mode on Call of Duty? Devin, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I've definitely played a little bit here and there with some friends of mine. It's definitely scary.
I hate scary, sorry.
I've seen some clips from you where you got scared from the...
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about that. So I found out the hard way that regular Warzone also has the chests that jump scare you. Did you know that?
Yeah, actually earlier today.
Just today, you just found out. Oh, the game decided to show me several times. I needed to take a break from Call of Duty because I think I pulled something in my ribcage from screaming too much. Does anybody get spooked here? Nicholas?
Oh, yeah. There's possibly a few clips on my Twitch page.
Which is?
Me screaming. It's twitch.tv/BOOYA-AYOOB.
All right.
But yeah, there's probably 2 or 3 of me screaming at the top of my lungs. Because I was just trying to get those the loadout loot so I could get the special skin.
Oh my gosh, I'm just trying not to freak out right now just thinking about it. What about you, Phil? Have you encountered any of those chests?
I actually have not played the new update. I haven't played COD in a while, actually. I've been focusing on horror games.
But the Haunting of Verdansk is really scary, you know?
Yeah, I was told. I have a bunch of friends telling me about it, and I've been wanting to play it, but I just haven't really gotten into it.
Okay, well for me, will you try it at least for me? Because the zombie mode is really fun. When you die, you actually turn into a zombie. You don't hit the gulag, you're the zombie, and then you have to try to come back. It's kind of neat how you have multiple elements of that. Does anyone, who's got that experience? Was it Devin? Devin, explain a little bit more. Like what about the zombie mode makes it unique and fun?
Definitely that you don't just have one chance to get back. You have like every time you're alive, every time you die, you will have that experience and have that possibility of getting back.
You just can't die as a zombie. Because I've rezzed and rezzed and rezzed and rezzed myself from just going back and forth and back and forth. You just gotta dodge. The fun fact with a zombie, for Phil, okay, some people didn't know this when they went in, but when you do play, because you're gonna play, is when you're a zombie, you can be in the gas. Just so you know. Strategy, it works. But, all right, well, we know you've taken a break, Phil, but what about you guys? Nicholas, what about COD in general keeps you coming back to playing it?
So recently, especially with this, the newest game that came out, playing the multiplayer when that first came out really felt like playing the older Call of Duty games, like Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2. Like no offense to Call of Duty, it didn't have all this ridiculous stuff. It was about the multiplayer competition.
All right, and for you, Devin?
Pretty much just the people that I met while playing. Like this whole tournament, meeting Booyah and Philip as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. So then let's go from there and transition our conversation about just why gaming is important, because that's a really fun element. I've made so many friends as well online just through gaming itself. They're still friends to this day. Some of them I've still never met, but I feel like I know them. What to you, why is gaming so important, especially with Air Force life, Phil?
I definitely think gaming is important because it brings people together, and it's just a fun experience.
Yep. All right. And Devin?
Yep.
Probably just, like I said, the possibility of meeting new people, and then also having that common thing that you both like.
Okay. Nicholas, I mean, is there anything as far as, I know Air Force life is probably pretty stressful, like service life has got to be super stressful. Would you say that gaming allows you to kind of just be able to de-stress a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Air Force life for any military life is incredibly stressful, and being able to just take even an hour to just escape from all of it is so good for your mental health. It's insane.
Yeah, and would you say that, is there anything specific like multiplayer, like solo games or with a bunch of friends? I mean, it seems like maybe unanimously it's because you can socialize with a bunch of people, but there are campaign games as well where you just have to go by yourself. It's solo story mode. Which one do you prefer, Nicholas?
So I prefer games with friends, not just for meeting new people, but like I've got a lot of friends back home, which now I get to see again. But I've spent years away from them, and that was our only time together. But even with the aspect of doing like solo games and campaign games, with streaming, you're still playing games with other people. They're there with you.
Yep, there's definitely that aspect, right? And all three of you are streamers, so you can play a game by yourself. Am I correct in saying that all three of you are streamers?
Yes.
Did I just jump on that?
Yes.
Okay, because I know, Phil, you said you had kind of taken a break from COD, but I don't know why I thought that COD was the only game you would be playing. Of course there are other games. I had a moment. It is fine. It's been a long day, okay? You know, I'm not playing Call of Duty. I haven't gone to play Call of Duty. Watching you guys play it, it's really giving me the itch. So it's fine, but we're here, we're winning. So Nick, back to you though. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned something about your base and how it was the only air base with a golf course. So does that mean you're a golfing fan, would you say? It seemed to really matter to you.
So it's the only Air Force base without a golf course.
Right, so it's without it. So you stressed how you were missing it. So does that bother you that there isn't one because you're such a fan?
Yeah, so in earlier bases I was at, it was really nice because that was like the only near course, and it was very affordable for, especially for a new airman. And when I heard they were shutting this one down, I got really upset. But then I got turned on to an app of where you can take over like canceled tee times for like dirt cheap. So I wasn't too worried about it anymore.
And those are the strats, the pro plays, if you're into golfing, everyone. So hope you took that note down. Would you say that gaming can serve a similar purpose for as golf or even any traditional sport? Because, you know, we were talking about how you can de-stress, so golfing gives a little bit of that for you as well.
Yeah, so just like golf, like playing Call of Duty, since that's what we're here for, you know, you start off and it's fun, and whether you do good or bad, you don't care. But then once you start getting a little better and you start winning, you really want to like look at how to do things better. Look at some tapes. Look at how pros do it. And it's the same way in Call of Duty and in golf. You want to just be better at the game and just tweak your game little bit by little bit.
And then it feels good when you land those, right? You're like, I just taught myself that. Feels so good, which then gives you the whatever more of the happy things, and thus overall you're happier. But anyways, so all right, moving on. When I was talking about relieving stress, Devin, you mentioned that it was good for that, for relieving stress. So tell us more about that and what other ways gaming can benefit airmen.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I'd have like a tough day at work, I would always come home, like link up with Booyah every now and again, just play some video games and have fun with it. Like, it's just so much easier to relieve stress that way.
Yeah.
And with it being like how other ways it can benefit airmen is just that you can meet a lot of people again, and you can really find that common thing that you both like.
You keep saying Booyah. Are you guys BFFs now?
Oh yeah, we're the best of friends.
Bestest of friends. That's good. I mean, you're building up that chemistry, and that's really what you need there for being successful. Maybe next time, instead of a third place, we'll get that first place, guys. You guys have been probably winning off this broadcast, right? So yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, every now and again.
For sure.
All right, Philip. Well, starting with you, I want to know, how you've gone through Command Clash. This is our first season, so what do you think is important to let future airmen know about getting into competing and streaming online?
Well, just be open and flexible, and I mean, if you have a passion for video games, then definitely make that known, and I'd say just keep going with your passion, and if anyone asks, say yes, you're available.
Just say yes to everything. Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Let's go down the line. Devin, what about you?
Definitely just try to stay calm as much as you can. Try finding what you're good at and keep pushing at it.
Wonderful, wise words. What about you, Nick, to close us out here?
If you want to seize these opportunities, such as Command Clash, don't do what I almost did and delete an email just because it was long.
Oh, yes. A, that's good, and B, that's good for whomever sent that email. Maybe they won't write such a long email next time. Or anyhow, you guys are fantastic. My goodness, you're crushing it in Warzone. You're crushing it out here. You guys are fantastic. I love your vibes. Happy-go-lucky, and thank you so much for lending us your time and skills. You guys are, again, like I said, just killing it. You guys are here. It was a pleasure having you all on season 1 of U.S. Air Force Command Clash. But most importantly, thank you all for your service. I can't say it enough. So be well, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. Our premiere season of Command Clash wrapped up nicely in a little bow. So what's next? Well, we've heard the voices of Airmen gamers loud and clear. More Command Clash will be coming in 2021, so make sure to reach out to your base point of contact and keep an eye out for email updates. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at AFSVC_esports, our Facebook page, USAF Esports, and also check out, excuse me, it's, do I have my water somewhere? I just need that maybe a little bit. But you can check out more resources online at myairforcelife.com. And did you happen to miss any part of season 1? Don't worry, as I keep saying, head on over to youtube.com/USAF Esports, where you can access every episode whenever you have a free time. It's at your whim. Or additionally, you can also catch reruns on our partner channel, ESTV. I'm Lisa Malambri, and on behalf of the U.S. Air Force, a huge thank you to the production team here. Kudos to these fantastic human beings right here in Seattle for bringing Command Clash to life, and to all of our special guests, our partner channel, ESTV, and of course, a big thank you to the participating airmen, and to you all at home for watching. So thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we'll get to be together next year in person, but until then, stay safe, wear your mask, and to all of our active duty and veteran service members in chat, many thank yous for your service to this country. Good night, everyone. Welcome to U.S. Air Force Command Clash, bringing active duty airmen and special guests to battle it out on the virtual grounds of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We'll be taking you to 4 different air bases, but only one will be victorious. Jeff Leach, everyone.
This is your commanding officer, Ghost, ready to drop hot in the AO and clap some of those noobs' cheeks. It's a bit of a cat and mouse chase right now, and it's a nice down there from Alex and Ahman. Wow. Another down there as well. What a throw! Absolute beast move there. Welcome to the war zone. Oh!